ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
1819 News.
Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall has closed an investigation into the allegations made against fired Mobile Police Chief Paul Prine. The investigation was regarding the concerns that Prine raised about a contract with a group called 321Z Insights, a company that was hired to validate Mobile's crime-fighting initiative. There were already 2 internal investigations conducted into the situation, and no wrongdoing was found. Mayor Sandy Stimpson then went on to request an independent review from the Attorney General's office. Marshall's review confirmed that there was compliance with state laws and found no evidence of misconduct. Despite this, another investigation by a law firm that has been hired by the Mobile City Council is still ongoing. That report is expected to be discussed July 23rd. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
The former mayor of Lakeview is in trouble with the law. The Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office found 53-year-old Paul Calhoun in possession of child pornography after Calhoun's electronic devices were searched. Calhoun was mayor of Lakeview starting in 2016 until 2020. That town is located between Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. Governor Ivey's office says that a bridge destroyed by arson in Geneva County will be rebuilt with state money. The wooden bridge that crossed Adam Creek was burned up this past May. Now money from the Rebuild Alabama Act will be used to build a bridge out of concrete and steel. Construction of the bridge is planned for this fall. And the price for buying stamps is about to increase starting July 14th. The first class Forever stamp will go up from 68 cents to 73 cents, which is an increase of 7%. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hey folks, thank you for making CTE Outdoor Power a preferred dealer and Hustler one of the most popular riding mowers. Recently, I met a couple from Evergreen who discovered us because friends recommended both CTE and Hustler. They heard our team of friendly, helpful professionals would guide them to the Hustler model that's the best fit for them, and that because we support all the products we sell, we take the hassle out of future needed parts and service. They liked Hustler because of the highest quality and warranty, and that we partner with Hustler to offer 0% interest financing. Now, if you haven't discovered Hustler and CTE yet, now is the perfect time because this month when you mention this ad, we'll pay the sales tax when you purchase any new riding mower. Folks, can you get all that anywhere else? CTE Outdoor Power, I-85 at Perry Hill Road and CTEOutdoorPower.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon on a hot and muggy Friday here in Montgomery, Alabama, but we're used to it by now, right? Everybody's used to it by now. Eddie Bader and Craig Monger here in the studio, as is tradition on Fridays. How you gentlemen doing?
Nah.
Good. Just See, I was tempted to call one of you last night because I was late to checking out what happened with the Biden press conference. And, well, it was even before the Biden press conference where the fun began. You know, this was the big boy press conference.
Right.
But it's not just, he's going to do a big boy press conference. You better watch what Joe is going to do at the NATO conference, too.
Oh.
And so Joe was at the NATO conference. He's like, later he's asked about it. He's like, I caught myself. I caught myself, and it was all right. Like, nothing's wrong here. Well, no, this is a big deal. It's a slip of the tongue. It's an old man who shouldn't be president, much less anything else. And he says this at the NATO conference. NATO, real serious thing. There's a war ongoing.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
And then he catches himself.
President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky.
He's going to beat President Putin. What time is it? Snappy time.
And it's such a great wind-up, too.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
He sounds like he's always perpetually trying to get peanut butter out of the roof of his mouth while he's talking.
Lately, yeah.
You
just can't get the words out. No, I've had days where I've done this job hungover. I've had days where I've done this job where I had no sleep. I've had days where I was probably shouldn't just not have been on air. And you make mistakes when you talk all the time.
Yes.
And presidents certainly talk all the time. And Biden has a long history of saying really ridiculous things, but he was always able to, again, catch himself. Stand up, Chuck. And it's like, oh, God, help me. He's in a wheelchair. It's like, Joe.
God help us all.
Let's fast forward. That was at the NATO conference. This is the big boy press conference.
All right.
And this is after a question regarding Vice President Harris. Why don't you think she's ready to do the job? And this is Biden's response.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she's not qualified to be president.
Somebody's going to grab those drops and start using them. They hadn't already.
Oh, Trump himself on Truth Social, because Trump messed that up one time on his speeches, too. Trump put out the exact quote in text.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she's not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
Let's start there. Let's start there.
And of course, if you look to the screen, gentlemen, my favorite these days is Greg, Vice President Trump, ladies and gentlemen. People are putting up photos of Zelensky meeting Harris, and it says President Putin meets Vice President Trump.
All right.
And it's goodness.
That looks like every Native American woman I've ever met.
Yeah, we're seeing essentially, folks, a mashup of Trump with Kamala Harris's face.
Yeah.
It's nightmare fuel right there.
It is.
It is.
But how do you screw this up that much? And then, of course, the sycophants are like, this is one of the best press conferences I've ever seen on foreign policy. His command of the facts. It's wait, the same history and story NATO and the United States has been telling about itself for several decades. He was able to regurgitate that.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious.
Who's really still on his side now?
You'd be amazed.
They brought a neurologist on MSNBC to talk about. It's like, man, they really got their marching orders turned on the president now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and late night comedians going after him.
Who really?
Yeah.
Who did?
Let's see.
It wasn't Colbert. I'll say that.
It was not. No, I didn't think it was
Yeah,
Colbert.
no,
It's
Colbert.
Comedy Central guys. I'm having a brain fart.
I don't
think of his
who.
name.
Stephen Colbert hasn't been funny for quite some time.
Yeah, he's been
And
way too early.
Who's that one guy who went off Comedy Central and then was on Apple TV or whatever? Gosh, what's his name? Jon Stewart.
Yeah,
That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, he came out with a few nice little jabs at him too. So when I hear Jon Stewart do that, then I know that the hounds have been released.
Oh yeah,
It's open season.
and there's all sorts of folks ready to. 3 Democrats, I think, dropped him after that press conference, saying he needs to step aside. But of course, the fight is ongoing in the media.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't seem like. I mean, if he survives, good. I think that's what the Trump campaign wants right now.
You either quit now or you stick it in until you lose. One of the two.
Well, Kamala is the only one that I think that Trump can still beat other than Joe Biden. So you imagine that they have to bring in someone to replace Joe that's not the VP. That's kind of a
How
nutty
do you
move.
jump over that and act like it's okay? You know, how are you going to your donor class? How are you going to smooth that over? We jumped over a black female who could be the first black female president, and we're just going to go with another.
Who's already the VP? Who means that you're number two.
Right,
so
right.
like, well, she was okay to be VP before, but now it's they're in a tough spot. That's for sure.
And there was a huge fundraising hit. You got to look at it from all different sides, not just what certain people are saying. $90 million frozen that was going to be thrown at a super PAC, which $90 million sadly is kind of a drop in the bucket of the amount of money that's circulating.
Sure,
but still, that's a big statement.
And all of a sudden, it's froze.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a lot of money, and especially when you're talking advertising.
Well, I just see here that State Rep Philip Insler is still defending Biden's campaign.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, come on, man. You're more sensible than that.
Did you see that on Twitter?
WSFA.
Oh, Lord.
The shocker.
Come on. I kind of like Phil, despite our fundamental disagreements on so much.
He's a really nice
wrong.
guy, but
Yeah.
that's a silly thing to say.
Don't do it. Well, that's isn't that the name of the game in politics? Like, you just have to, shame yourself.
Yeah.
To show you're part of the club.
And
Republicans do it, Democrats do it, everybody does.
But it's one of the things that I'll never understand, especially when you look at Mean Gene, Karine, Jean-Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I literally, it's sort of old hat to be like, how do you look at yourself in the mirror? But honestly, how do you? Like, your job is to lie professionally.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, everybody else is lying.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. It's like, well, even anytime you point out garbage in politics, people are like, "Oh, that's part of the game," or yeah, what do you expect you to do? It's like, yeah, I expect you to tell the truth, regardless of who it hurts.
You remember what your parents used to tell you? If everybody else jumped off a bridge, would you jump off the bridge too, Joey? No.
Yeah.
You would stand up and have a sense of, no, this is not the right idea.
It was so funny. I watched a stand-up comedian who was actually a rocket scientist, and he told the story about how he went to school and he was anti-war and. He would engage in all these protests and everything, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he graduated, he realized that there's really only 2 jobs you can get as a rocket scientist. One was for NASA, and the second was working for defense industries. And he's like, and when I saw that contract from Raytheon, all of a sudden, I wasn't so anti-war anymore.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's a nice chunk of change can change somebody's mind for certain.
In a big way.
Yep.
But it's not about the truth, though, folks. Yeah. It really isn't. Like, it is about stumping for your team, and then also yourself as you're stumping for the team if you're a climber. Like, if you're not just up there, I think there are guys who are career. For instance, I'm going to name a name, Gary Palmer. I think he is now pretty much a career guy in politics, but he doesn't come across as the guy who runs in front of the camera and just says a bunch of stupid crap.
Yeah.
He comes across as the guy who works hard behind the scenes and actually takes policy earnestly.
Even if he is going for a 3rd term.
Right. Well, and to his credit, when I asked him about it, he had an explanation. So it's, there are certain folks up there that are earnest and probably not the worst people in the world. I said this to Eddie yesterday, Craig, that it's sort of the opposite of that thing people throw around with dating. No, I hate the game and I try to not hate the players. Now, sometimes it does. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
But it's more like, no, I know you're involved in this thing and I know you got to do your thing. And can't we just stop the thing? It would be better for you and for everybody else. It's a cancer on society.
Yeah.
This political nonsense that is now dominating people's minds. And we can have a lot of fun with it. Mm-hmm. I really do find it hilarious that Joe Biden, in the big boy press conference, his big boy press conference is coming up, and all of a sudden he just drops real seriously.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president. I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
Oh, yeah. You ever seen those things that they do where the first and the last letter are correct, but the middle letters of a word are jumbled up, but you can still read it?
Yeah.
That's what he is when he's speaking. Because go back and play it. Like, he's missing some very pivotal words in that sentence, but you just put it together in your brain because you can't comprehend that someone is this completely disintegrated mentally.
Yeah, but that's where he is. And the idea that all the sudden revelation that he's had this incapacity is just absurd. We've known this for quite some time now. So here's a little more of the Biden press conference some moments from this.
This conference? Have you seen a more successful conference?
NATO conference.
What do you think? And the Putin piece, I was talking about Putin, and I said, and now, at the very end, I said, Putin. I said, no, I'm sorry, Zelensky. And then I added 5 other names. Look, guys, the idea anybody suggests that we haven't had an incredibly successful conference. How many times did you hear in that conference, I know it sounds too self-serving, but other leaders, heads of state, in thanking me, saying the reason we're together is because of Biden.
Spit it out.
And also, that point he just made, it's like those same leaders kiss Trump's butt too.
Yep.
Because you're the president of the United States. You are NATO, essentially.
You got that? You actually see. You actually heard what he said. I was trying, and I couldn't figure out where.
I speak.
Shout out to that ASL interpreter next to him. That's gonna be a rough gig.
That's gotta be.
Yeah.
I speak old, so I did some studying up. It was a travel abroad.
I speak
program.
old redneck. I don't know, these Yankee old people. I can't understand them.
It keeps going.
Because Biden did the following.
Yeah, Biden
Look,
did.
folks, this is well. Anyway, I thought it was the most successful conference I've attended in a long time, and find me a world leader who didn't think it was.
Have you spent time thinking about what it would mean for your legacy, which you've worked decades to build, if you stay in the race, despite the concerns that voters say they have, and you lose to someone who you yourself have argued is unfit to return to the Oval Office?
Well, look, I'm not in this for my legacy. I'm in this to complete the job I started. Well, guess what? I've been the most pro-union labor president in history. Not a joke. And guess what? We had the Treasury Department do a study. When unions do better, everybody does better.
He's got to stop it with the whispering.
He's got to stop.
Killing me last night.
He's got to stop it with the whispering.
Gets creepy.
He's done it his whole career. It's now gone to the old man and Family Guy. Oh, come over here, young man.
Come here, little mama. Let me whisper.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that song in a while.
It's the Ding Dong Twins.
Oh, and it didn't get better. It didn't
get better.
I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief, the chief of staff of the military, as well as the Secretary of Defense and our intelligence people.
Bad nights, sir. How can you reassure the American people that you won't have more bad nights, whether they be on a debate stage or on some matter of foreign policy?
Well, I tell you what, the best way to assure them is the way I assure myself. And that is, am I getting the job done? Am I getting the job done? Can you name me somebody who's gotten more major piece of legislation passed in 3.5 years? I created 2,000 jobs just last week. So if I slow down, I can't get the job done. That's a sign that I shouldn't be doing it. But there's no indication of that yet. None. What do we got here?
A dying old man.
Yeah.
Merrick.
He's sick. He's just sick.
Yeah.
He has a neurologically deteriorative disease.
Yeah.
He's not well. Like, say what you will about his policies, which have sucked, by the way, when he was still erudite. But this is just a sick, sad, decrepit, deteriorating old man. Like, why is that even controversial to say at this point? Like, honestly, listen to his sentences through and through. He cannot say a sentence. He has these weird contractions. President Putin. He does it like he throws out 3 words in one big contraction. His brain just can't keep up. I bet his cerebral spinal fluid looks like motor oil. I guarantee it. Do a spinal tap on that guy.
I look forward to Fridays for comments like that. It's stuff I don't think anybody else on the show, myself included, would ever say, and I love that you say stuff like that. Wow.
Because that's how they test you if you have a neurological disorder. They do a spinal tap, they take your spinal fluid.
I never thought about the color of the fluid.
It's supposed to be like slightly opaque, but his probably comes out looking like the water from Fallout.
Kind of feel like we all should have a sight glass that you could just kind of see that
Well,
at any given moment.
I want to get a biopsy done of my spinal fluid just because I've always seen it in the movies, and I wonder what that sensation feels like. I'm curious. Anywho,
But the point here is that it's not just about Biden's deteriorating, that his brain doesn't function as well as it once did, and even then, yeah. I love this twist of he's a good man. Oh, give me a freaking break.
Okay, so he's a good
They're
man.
all good. No, he's not.
he's not.
But
He's terrible.
Agreed. But if all you've got for a defense of somebody that's
Right.
supposed to be the president of the United States, I know he's feeble. I know he doesn't make any sense anymore. But man, he's a good man. You know how many people get fired for less than that?
Right.
Good people get fired all the time.
But the thing is, and it's fun to do this because it's stupid election season and we can be silly, but it's not about Joe Biden. This is not about the personalities surrounding Biden and Trump. This is about, in this particular case, these folks that are surrounding and propping up Joe Biden, who for years have been lying to you.
Yep.
And again, it is not about the truth. And what they definitely don't want you to see, say the elite that are trying to push Biden out, is the fact they've made this turn. So how do they do stuff like that? We have like an amazing just exhibit 150 right here, whatever. How many exhibits are we into the corruption of corporate media? The New York Times this morning, how Biden stumbles, this is the headline, how Biden stumbles collided with a right-wing conspiracy theory. Some far-right commentators have long argued that Democratic Party elites were plotting to replace Biden. Now those commentators say they'll be proved correct. That's this morning from the New York Times. From Axios this morning, same kind of, would you say, cultural space, sort of prestige elite media, Axios, New York Times. Axios puts out Behind the Curtain, Committee to Unelect the President. There was no like actual gamesmanship around the 2020 election. Well, they also put out that Time Magazine article that just lays out all the gamesmanship and everything they had planned behind the 2020 election. It's not about the truth. It is about getting you to do what they want. So they can, you know, save the world or whatever justification they give to themselves. Make an impact. Pay the mortgage. Bend the arc of history towards justice. Whatever you want to fill in the blank with. But it is incredibly demoralizing at a certain level if you still have any hope and vestiges for what we thought the country once was. But it should also, though I might be contradicting myself, give you hope. If you are over the fact that the country is not what it once was, you've suspected for a long time, yeah, this doesn't seem like it's about the truth. You're now seeing millions and millions of people wake up to that. Trump, I guess, is the vessel, but this, again, is not about Trump, not about Biden. This is about Americans taking their damn country back. And it's not just about who we elect. It's about who we pay attention to. You know, last night, been watching a show with my grandfather, and he goes, by the way, I want to change it to the ESPYs at 7. I'm like, I would never watch it. I don't like award shows. I maybe once upon a time I was like, oh, look, the Oscars. I think I was like 10. And Eddie knows about award shows and how I feel when I win awards. I'm like, these people don't even know who I am. Who cares?
I love how I agree with them like I've ever received an award for anything.
It's just
next time you go. It's a good time. I promise you.
What award show is this?
We'll tell you later.
Secrets don't make friends, friends make secrets.
The Alabama Broadcasters Association or something.
Abby?
It's like,
Is that right?
yeah,
I
it was
couldn't
like
think of
best
that.
show in a medium market or something.
It's the Alabama Journalism Association
Right,
or whatever
I
it is.
know.
I'm not getting an invite there anytime soon.
No, I'm just seeing everybody sitting there, you know, doing that to each other in a big circle, and it's like, come on in, the water's fine. I'm like, I don't think I want to do this with you guys.
What is that? That Will Ferrell SNL bit where they're in the hot tub?
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's what it is.
So, I'm not one to watch award shows. My grandfather does I like to watch the ESPYs. because he's really into sports. He's like, plays of the year.
That's what the
these
SB
sorts
used to be.
So we flip it over to the ABC. Well, it's Biden talking about Vice President Trump. So, okay, we go back to watching a show. Then give it a little time. Okay, the press conference is over. We've missed the beginning. Let me go to the beginning of the ESPYs here, Pa. And I knew who it was because I worked at Fun Zone Skate Center.
Mm-hmm.
But it was Sierra doing a song and dance. And my grandfather's like, am I supposed to know who this is? And we're like, well, but maybe that's just the entertainment to get the show going here. It's it's an award show. And so we fast forward a little more through a commercial break because we had had it on pause. And then at the beginning of the next commercial break, it's Serena Williams singing badly. And my grandfather's like, where's the awards? Where's the sports?
Yeah.
Any of it. And you have to wonder, what the heck has become of the mainstream culture? Who's actually paying attention to it? I think it's becoming a smaller and smaller amount of folks.
Yeah.
The most the ESPYs last night got were this one moment where you remember, what's the guy's name? Butker, the guy who gave the commencement speech, and said Harrison Butker, and talked about being a Catholic, how the most fulfilling thing he's found for women in his life is actually being a wife and a mother.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Which, and also in the speech, he talks about if you want to go for a career, go for it. You are free to do so. But I've just found that the women I know in my life are the most fulfilled being a mother and a wife. And apparently that's still a problem. And this is probably the most watched portion of the ESPYs from last night. It's Venus and Serena Williams and Quinta Brunson, whoever that is.
So go ahead and enjoy women's sport like you would any other sports because they are sports. Yes. Except you, Harrison Butker. We don't need you. At all. Like ever.
Hilariously enough, I don't know if Butker's ever played tennis before, but he would smoke both of them, picking up a tennis racket for the first time. And by the way, it's like you need men too, Serena. In fact, more specifically, you need male hormones. Remember when you hid in your panic room from the drug testers?
Yep.
I remember that one.
Well, and I tried to watch it. I'm like, well, let's give it a chance. I'm trying to fast forward. Like, let's get to some of the awards and I'm sitting here seeing some of the worst comedy writing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch professional comedians improv. Like, that's what's the magic of, say, Kill Tony. Or that Dr. Phil show. The fake Dr.
The fake Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Recently, fake Dr. Phil interviewed the comedian Adam Ray, who plays fake Dr. Phil.
But when you see
pretty
Adam,
cool.
When you
was
see
pretty funny.
fake Dr. Phil without the makeup, it's hard to picture him as fake Dr. Phil.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, it's
Big
pretty
time,
good.
yeah.
Like, he gets deep in character. My point is, I like watching these professional comedians workshop and improvise because sometimes they fall flat. You're improvising. But often they hit, and they hit pretty good. They understand, oh, this is a good, fun premise to play with here. And they go for it, and they're just riffing, so to speak. On an award show, all this is pre-written.
Yeah.
And the jokes were awful. It was the most ham-handed. I'm like, what do we even... It feels like I'm watching the Hunger Games. Like, what is this? I'm turning into I'm older than my grandfather now. Like, what is this? And it reminded me that it's not just politics. It's so much of how sports is presented. Thank God sports has its own virtues absent all the media coverage. Because at least my point is you can still go watch a great football game or basketball game, despite all the talking heads and
just not
shouting
in
classes.
June.
Right. But it's across the board. There's something rotten and corrupt, and maybe it's ABC, Disney. Maybe it's that just company in particular, but I think it's a few of these companies. And God love the folks who are waking up to it. We barely pay attention to it. I'm dragged back into it on occasion. Like, let's watch the ESPYs to see some sports. And then you realize, well, I made the right choice
That's what
of
I'm saying. You
never
realize
paying
you-
attention to this
yeah.
stuff ever again.
You realize why you checked out in the first place.
It's like watching the Oscars.
Yeah.
Good Lord, it's yeah, I don't understand how anybody.
It's just a group of it is like the Hunger Games, like those phony people with phony veneers and in a sea of smiling people who are only smiling so they don't get removed from their position of authority and power and
Right.
influence.
And the funniest thing that came out of an award show of any recent memory is probably Ricky Gervais roasting all those people.
Dude, he killed them.
Right.
So good.
So you're only actually funny and good to watch when people are actually saying what they think about you. And, good riddance. 272-9228. The problem, though, is there are a lot of old people who are stuck in the same narratives they've been in for a while. And you know what? I don't blame you, folks, because it's tough to teach an old dog new tricks. Or maybe you like the patterns you're in. It's your life. I'm just suggesting that the media stream that you're hooked up to is probably not the healthiest, not just for you, but for the country. I'm not saying, go jump on Twitter and all of a sudden you're going to find mental health there. What I'm saying is start to have a little more of a skeptical mind that the things presented to you, whether it's entertainment or sports, or especially politics, that it's not good for you or the people you love. And that there is a world elsewhere beyond this filter everybody for a time was stuck in. And thank God we're out of it now.
Don't think I missed that slight Coriolanus reference you just gave. There is a world elsewhere.
272-9228. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical. And they're at All Pro. They can help you with that HVAC system. You need to get it checked up if you haven't.
Right.
Like, what? Just walking from the car. Like, in the parking lot. I'm like, dadgum. It is hot.
It's just heavy.
11 to 3, 11 to 4. And I know it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. The dog days of summer ain't even here yet.
So you do not want your AC to give out in this sort of climate, folks. And of course, at All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical, they can do that inspection, checkup, or if you're looking to get a brand new unit or need a repair done, of course, All Pro has your back in that regard. And they can also install, in particular, a Generac generator. So, with storms rolling through, which in the summer here, it's bound to.
Regular thing.
Maybe you don't want the power to go out just for convenience sake,
Right.
or it could be you have, critical infrastructure, things like medical devices that you have to keep the power on. Well, All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical is ready to help you in that regard, installing a brand new Generac generator. So you can always go to allproheatingair.com or give them a call at 301-1961. That's 301-1961. And be sure to tell them that, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. Part of me, by the way, I'm being I'm a little hesitant, is because I want to drop so many curse words. Like, I see this stuff, and it's a problem I need to work on. The rage that comes
Are you
down.
getting the old man rage?
Oh, and I'm not even that old.
I know. It's kind of early for this to be setting in with you.
Oh, but the rage is real.
You need a good.
And so I want to be like this effing BS.
You need a good detoxifier right now. That's the only thing you need to get this out of your system. Because if not,
What would you suggest to detoxify?
a nice.
If you suggest some magical stone water, I'm going to be very upset.
No, I'd suggest some magical salt water. Maybe sipping a little fruity drink on the beach in Jamaica. That always kind of cures me. Gets the toxin
Jamaica.
dried out of me. Yeah.
Well, I need to get my passport. We'll go to Jamaica or Tokyo. Or...
Wagwan, brother.
You know what that means in English?
What's going on?
Yeah, where are you going? I mean, and Jamaicans, which are hysterical, they're some of the best people and funniest people I ever know, but they're very nosy.
Yes.
And that whole thing is, where are you going? Because they want to know, where are you going?
Yeah.
Well, let's hit this break. We'll come back to calls at 272-9228.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Proper Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Propville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Proper Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-632-4055 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-632-4055. That's 800-632-4055. What do you have to lose? Call 800-632-4055. Again, 800-632-4055.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Did you know that 1 in every 3 people are expected to be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime? 1 in 3. That's an astonishing statistic that impacts almost everyone. The Cancer Wellness Foundation of Alabama serves cancer patients in the River region and gives help and hope to those who need assistance on the road to recovery. This is where we come in. Blue Water Broadcasting and Riverside Chevrolet ask you to join us in our Operation Help and Hope. We're collecting items to go in Chemo Comfort Care bags that are offered to all new cancer patients. Items we're collecting include new in-packaging fuzzy socks, Boost nutritional drinks, blankets, digital thermometers, hard candy, pill boxes, travel-sized tissues, small hand sanitizers, lip balm, puzzle books, and pens. Bring your donation to Riverside Chevrolet on 231 in Wetumpka. Riverside Chevrolet. When you think Chevy, think Riverside. Donate what you can. Operation Help and Hope from Blue Water Broadcasting and Riverside Chevrolet.
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by H&H Carpets, where you will find a complete line of Mohawk carpet with exceptionally clean, smart strand fiber. It's always available and ready to be installed. H&H Carpets across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After a little improvement over the last couple of days, it looks like we're going to be starting to heat up again. Sunshine will dominate again today. I think the radar will be quiet once again, but I've got us in the upper 90s for a high temperature, and I think the heat index will be near the 100 mark. Low tonight down to about 72. Then it looks like a long string of days with highs in the upper 90s and triple-digit heat indices. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And over the weekend, those widely separated random showers and storms will start to pop up, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Few and far between, though. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations since we began in 1906. At CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Well, I just learned something new about men's nipples. But we'll save that for another time.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy.
Oh, man, I almost got hit by some guy. Guess what he was doing? Texting. Oh. I told him where he could go, though. I used some bad language, Joey.
Well, maybe he's addicted. Maybe he can't help it. You should be more considerate. You
should go hug him.
The victim card. Very good.
There you go.
You could have told him to go to hell, but if you're driving in Montgomery, that might have been gratuitous.
Well, they said, they used to call it the city of dreams, right? That's the motto of the city of dreams. That's our motto.
Yeah.
I call it the city of screams. What do you think?
You're reminding me of the SB writing last night. That's...
Oh, no, don't add about SB right now. I watched that last night. I tell you, was anybody wearing clothes last night? Any of the ladies? Good God.
Seriously, my grandfather and I lasted 5 minutes. Really. This is just awful.
Now, here, SB last night, I hate to say it, I'm going to use the R word. It was racist. Caitlin Clark was nominated for 3 different categories. And did she win any of them? Oh,
I'm going to go with no. Didn't even watch it, but I guarantee you it's a no. She didn't win nothing.
Oh, no.
Real quick, Craig, get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm so
Wait a
sorry.
minute. The presenters seemed to be happy when it was somebody that didn't look like her. You know, you hear that saying, well, I'll go in here, I feel uncomfortable because people don't look like me. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Well, you know, I just look at the men's basketball team. There doesn't seem to be anybody that looks like me, Joey.
Well, how does that make you feel?
Now, I'm not meaning the word old either, okay?
You know, what, like you're not like Doncic?
No, no, there wasn't any. Now go look. I mean, the most person that looked close to me was probably Mr. Three-Pointer from Golden State.
Can't think of his name. Big blockhead.
When's the last time you actually watched the NBA?
Oh, I watch it every other... During the playoffs, I watched it. Yeah. Tournament time, I watch it, yeah. I go up sometimes to watch the Hawks lose. God.
Well, as we've been over this week,
but
especially...
the whole purpose of equity and inclusion and diversity was to be... The whole purpose of it doesn't mean you had to be good at it or the best at it. You just had to make up a society and a little bit of everybody in it. So why don't we have why don't they put me on the team?
Well, and here's the rub. The same media that is putting on the ESPYs for things like that to be said are the same people that created the Caitlin Clark phenomenon beyond her style of play on the court. And so it's crazy. It's like, wait, you presented her, you hyped her up, you put her in every freaking commercial that was in March, and now that she's successful, and wasn't quite successful enough, and I kind of called that. I'm like, y'all are setting her up for failure. Why are you putting all this on? She's 18. Well, no, she's 22 years old.
Pretty good, though.
Same thing
They do it with a lot of college athletes. Yeah, Simone Biles as well. You put all this hype on them, and they did this during the NBA playoffs. Oh, this is the next Jordan. This is the next. It's just a media thing. But okay, you create this person, and now because people are bought into your creation, how dare those people like her? It's just, as we went over earlier, Soldier Boy, in this week, I just think folks need to get their head out of their asses and stop reducing everything down to race. It should be about as important as your astrological sign. So if you walk up and you start talking about white or black, I don't care. I've heard it from white people and black people. I'm going to look at you like you're real serious about the stars in alignment because you were born a certain day.
Well, here's the way Soldier Boy looks at it very simply. If our U.S. team was made up of 15 Chinese people, Asian people, I wouldn't care. Okay, I want the 15 best players out there. I don't give a rat.
Yeah.
But don't be the media the opposite and turn that crap around with equity, inclusion, diversity, because you can't cut it because of your sex or your race or whatever it is. Oh, we're just gonna let you slide by. Well, then let this white boy right here is 60 years old. Let him slide by. And let him play in the Olympics. I always wanted to play in the Olympics.
So how long did you last? I only lasted 5 minutes. How long did you last?
Well, and he is. I mean, do you see what the point I'm trying to make?
Yes.
I wouldn't care. I don't care. They're going to represent the United States. I don't have to have 2 Hispanic people and 2 African American or 2 Caucasian people or 2 Europeans and descendants. I don't care. But you're the same one to turn around and use that diversity, equity, inclusion crap. You tell me there's not one person that looks like me in the NBA that's deserving to be on that team. Clayton, okay, point made.
Well, no, and the name of the game is to make the rules and then break them as you please. Like, the point is there are no rules. We're just going to say whatever we need to say to trap people.
At that particular moment, exactly.
And increase resentment and just keep the dialectic going between all the different groups you're pitting against each other. And it's...
But you know what's so funny is, Soldier Boy never mentioned this the last 4 Olympics, okay? Doesn't matter. Play the best players in the nation should play for should want to play. And LeBron James, I might say LeBron, you're on the cusp of being a racist, and he's on the team. Oh yeah. I wonder how LeBron would play if everybody looked like me on that team except for him.
He would score every point.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
You
let's be honest.
haven't seen my crossover.
He'd
You
probably
haven't seen
give
my
you all the
crossover.
ball one time and then realize, oh, this is all me.
He would post up on you so hard.
Yeah, he would probably
You haven't-
dunk on his own guys.
But I'm trying to say, Soldier Boy, the whole conservative "what if the roles were reversed" thing has been the like heading on a gravestone for conservatism for the last 20, 30 years. Nobody cares. We won, ha ha. Yeah, we cheated and we lied and we're screwing with you, but you keep losing and falling for it, ha ha. And that's what this game is.
Does the women's Olympic basketball team have any Caucasian women that are straight?
I don't know. I don't watch women's
Eddie,
basketball.
go out there and do some investigation on that one.
I will. But
You should
I
some
think you're
research on
gonna
that
be-
one.
In fact, I was annoyed that my grandfather said, "Let's watch the
I
ESPYs."
think you're going to be disappointed, Soldier Boy.
Like, I'll watch Pardon the Interruption all day, every day, but like, I'm not watching some stupid award show. Like, let's watch an actual game where a trophy is given out after the winner is declared.
I saw Drew Brees. Did you watch it when Drew Brees was
No,
in the audience?
no.
They zoomed in on him.
No.
Oh God, he looked like he was bored. What the hell am I doing here? Did my agent send me to this, or was I in Vegas just happened to be for fun?
Yeah, his publicist probably.
Oh my God, the poor guy. It's like sit there and you didn't see. Did you see some of what the ladies were wearing? The clothing, or the
No,
lack of it.
like I said, I only watched for 5 minutes.
Man, it was just that, and you didn't miss anything. You and your grandfather didn't miss anything.
Well, I appreciate it, Soldier Boy.
All right, thanks for taking my call.
See you, homie.
See you, dude.
272-9228. It's like, I bet y'all went back, y'all watching the Andy Griffith show. I'm like, no, that would be more my dad. Like,
What's wrong with Andy Griffith?
Nothing wrong
Good
with Andy
wholesome-
Griffith.
Good wholesome material.
Especially when Jed Clampett comes to town.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to
Was
line
there ever
one.
a crossover between those two shows?
Gentlemen,
Oh.
good Friday
Should have
to
been,
you.
but no.
Hold on, Red Top.
Sorry, Red Top. I apologize.
What's up?
What's up, homie?
Oh, I just saw something very interesting. My birthday is December 13th. I
Okay.
guess you know that after all these damn years. But yesterday I found out so is Taylor Swift. So, good old Sagittarius. I feel like I'm in good company. And if you would, from now on, please call me Mr. Vice President Red Top, because apparently anybody can be Vice President in Joe Biden's country.
Well, I'd take
Yeah,
you
really-
over Kamala. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's for sure.
Hey, well, we'd have a lot more fun. We'd definitely smoke a lot more pot. I'll promise you that.
Rotad.
So, it looks like J.D. Vance is not going to be vice president. You know why, Joey?
Why?
The beard.
Why? What, the beard? I think the beard plays. I think if Ted Cruz had had a beard in 2016, he might have won.
Oh, I've heard that one a long time.
No, Donald Trump despises beard. And
What a dictator.
And they said he just despises them. I was watching.
I mean, he really is just a cult leader.
That's very Korean of him.
Sorry,
have
I'm
you read
channeling
J.D.
my inner
Vance's,
lip.
have you read J.D. Vance's book, by the way?
I haven't.
You can watch the movie too. I think it's on Netflix right now. It's called Hillbilly Elegy. I think most people are supposed to be shocked when they watch it. I'm like, this looks like every family event I've ever had.
And hey guys, there's something really good to watch on Saturday on NTD, and it comes on twice. Might even come on Sunday too. A program called Vital Signs.
Okay.
It's about health. That as much as I studied health my whole life, last Saturday it blew me away. They told me more about weight, losing weight, gaining weight, sugars, and he made a statement that I'd never thought of, but is true. There's no such thing as cancer of the muscles or cancer of the heart. Do you know why? The muscles and the heart, which is obviously our most important muscle, do not run on sugars, not on glucose. They run on
That's
fatty
actually
acids.
the exact opposite of the case. Your muscles run preferentially on
It's
glucose.
starting again.
Well, hey, buddy,
Let's go back to the ESPYs.
go watch Vital Signs.
I don't have to. I read a biology
All the
textbook.
organs that get cancer are
are just sugar-based, and that's another reason why you don't lose fat, because your body doesn't burn. It doesn't digest fat. It just stores it.
Once again, just simply not
well,
true.
I appreciate the call, Red Top. Roll Tide.
Y'all have a great weekend. Roll
Hey, bro.
Tide, go Trump.
Your body doesn't digest fat, then you wouldn't store it. That's how it stores it. It's digested.
No, doesn't it just go down my throat right to my belly?
No, it's called lipolysis. There's a word for it. Like, these are established things and saying there's your muscles don't run on glucose. That's where they're stored. What are you talking about? This is what I hate about the health space and people. What did he say the name of that show was? I'm gonna watch it because
I already forgot.
I like to rage.
It's on
watch
NTD
garbage.
News. He loves NTD News.
NTD News. These modern day diet people, I swear they're gonna drive me up a freaking wall. It's always one thing to them. It doesn't matter where you go. It's always the one thing. Sugar's the bad thing. Insulin's the bad thing.
Romex Angler threw in, have you gotten your max bench over 150 yet?
150 what, kilos? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, damn. Actually, that's pretty good.
Rock on, Beavis.
That's actually not that. Not
Wait,
that
in
impressive.
pounds, what is that?
Like 320 something, I believe.
320 is a lot
Actually,
on bench.
Hold on, let me see. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Hold on. Let's just get a bar. Joey, you go lay on the bar. Craig, if you
No,
can pick it up, that's
last time I
320.
tried to max, I got 220, and I was about to do 225, and my leg cramped, and I'm like, well, it's not meant to be.
There you go.
Yeah, it's 330. It's 330. By the way, can we stop with this imperial system? The metric system is superior in every regard. It's all in multiples of 10. It's so easy.
And I don't bench anymore. I just do dumbbells.
Yeah,
for
I
chest pressing.
preferentially do that because
dumbbells and push-ups and flies. Yeah,
dumbbells really are the best thing to do. But I'm a meathead at heart, so I still bench press.
Yeah, I did genuinely hurt my shoulder doing bench press, and was like, yeah, okay, I'm. What's the point of this? I can build muscle and keep strong without the barbell.
Yeah, most modern day, especially physique guys, they don't bench press anymore just because it's just a recipe to tear something. But again, I'm meathead. I have to do stupid stuff every once in a while.
I just wanted to get you away from.
I know. I could see what you were trying to do.
Craig, have you ever strained hard enough at the gym to start lactating?
Not quite. Well, it depends. Lactating from where?
Your nipples?
From the nips? No, I haven't.
Has that happened to guys?
No. But I've trusted a flatulence when I should not have in the midst of let's just say the workout was halted abruptly.
That comes with getting old.
Yeah. Because I'll stay in the gym. I might break something and stay in the gym, but that happens. I go home. I'm going home.
That was a question, by the way, not of my own. That was Romex Angler who asked about the lactating. He then follows up saying, we use freedom units. This is America. Damn the metrics.
Freedom units, baby.
On that note, we'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
It's that time of the year. Come to think of it, it's that time of the year all the time at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. They're always offering a way to save you money on Chevrolets. The red tag sale continues. Save on the 2024 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT, the 2024 Chevy Blazer EV LT, and the 2024 Chevy Equinox EV 2-liter. Costco members get $1,000 toward the purchase of the 2023-24 Silverado 1500, a grand towards a 2024 Blazer EV LT. If you have a student headed off to college and they need a good, reliable vehicle, shop Larry Puckett today. Their new and pre-owned inventory is as big as anyone's in the area. Bring your extra used car in and let them make you a cash offer. Larry Puckett always lets their customers do the talking about the great prices, selection, and service. Stop by the dealership on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville as the red tag sale continues. Call them at 334-285-9300 or shop them online at larrypuckett.com.
The River Region's first and only News Talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon, or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live. You know, at times folks because we do this on the fly, we're essentially improvising here. I think, oh no, this is boring people. I'm getting texts saying you guys are cracking me up. And yeah, this is entertaining, at least to me for a Friday. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and that great team are ready to help you with all your pest control needs. Could be you're just looking for a local trusted pest control company that can be your everyday company that visits on a regular basis, gets to know you, and they really are wonderful folks. There's a reason the business has been growing leaps and bounds over the last few years. Like sort of out of the pandemic, they've just grown like crazy. Or it could be you're looking for a specific job to get done, like termite inspection or treatment, or Eddie knows firsthand about the mosquito treatments.
It works like a charm, baby.
And you live in like Mosquito City.
I live in Mosquito Haven, yes.
But you have a little haven of your own there, free of the mosquitoes.
An invisible fortress around my deck that they just don't bother us. Just don't bother us at all. It's pretty nice.
Wait, you sometimes think of yourself as a Superman?
No, I just know if I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes in my neighbor's yard who doesn't have the service, we go to my deck. She's like, it's so different up here. Yes.
Pest Pro Services.
That's right.
So y'all check out Pest Pro today. That number, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and the team that those fellas on the radio sent you. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
It's Charles.
Hey, Charles.
I was listening to your buddy talk about how he trusted one before when he shouldn't have. And it reminded me, I was working on a job, and this was years ago. I was a young man, and I had a blackened chicken sandwich for lunch.
Oh, no. From where?
It was a really good place. They made really good.
Okay.
It was placed in Birmingham. I was doing work in Birmingham. I can't remember, but anyway, I was on this house on the back, and I was up on a scaffolding, and the scaffolding is like 6 feet from the double doors. That would be the second story back porch, and the boss man had taken the extension ladder, and they had left to go get materials, and forgot to put the extension ladder back.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
My stomach starts growling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Get that bubble.
I couldn't get down. There ain't nobody there. So I had to jump from the scaffolding to the double door to get inside the house. And like I said, it's like, probably, don't let me exaggerate, probably not 6 feet. It's probably like 5 feet or something like that, you know.
But still, you can roll an ankle.
Yeah.
Hey, I jumped, which when I was young, you know, I was thin. And I jumped. Soon as I landed in the house, man, it went everywhere. And I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, no.
That's one of those rough ones where you start actually before you get the pants down because you just I can't hold it
I
anymore.
almost thought you were going to say I pulled my pants down, and to jump I used a sort of counter propulsion like SpaceX and got to the
that
ground.
Ain't even the funniest part. There was nowhere to go, and I'm not going to walk outside all the way to the porta-john at the front of the job site.
Waddle. Just
So
waddle.
I go,
Doing the penguin
I
walk.
go and hide in the attic. I hide in the attic. And that's back when we had next. And I next tell the boss man. He's laughing so hard. He stops and gives me a pair of pants.
Yep.
To me, and gives me Mojo and some paper towels to clean off.
Clean it up, buddy.
Like sandpaper on your ass.
Yep.
What in the world, man? But anyway, I thought I'd get a kick out of that.
It happens to every man at least once. That's when you learn. Okay, I'm at that age.
It's happened to me.
Yep. Yep.
Y'all be safe.
See you, man.
All right.
Yep.
See, luckily mine was in the privacy of my own home. I was just relaxing.
Oh, see, that don't count though.
Oh, they count.
I mean, you're not going to learn you might learn the lesson. You're a
No,
smart guy.
if you have to throw away the underwear, it counts.
Well, if you're at a job, Joey, and you have to call your wife for a change of clothes, and she says, "I'm too busy," and then you have to call your boss.
You hide in the attic.
No, I actually hid in the lab for a while, but still, very embarrassing. I had to call a coworker to go to Dollar General and get me some clothes.
Well, this is Friday. We're going all over the place, folks. Before I hit the top of the hour break, this part of the program brought to you by Clearwater's Property management, and they're at Clearwater's. Reed Waters and his team are ready to help you with tree removal.
You bet, man. Stump removal, tree removal.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a big limb hanging over the house and you're tired of going to sleep at night worried if that thing's going to crash down on your house.
Yeah, just get some tree trimming done.
Yeah.
Or it could be it's blocking the driveway.
Yeah, it could be.
Or it could be an aesthetic reason, like you're tired of the view being blocked from that window you sit at all the time.
That's very true, too. Or you might have those limbs on that tree that are kind of scraping up against your house every time the wind blows, and that's going to take away paint.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take away your asphalt on your shingles. And that's also a great way for pests to get in. Oh, you don't want that, man. Don't want that at all.
And with stumps, they're not just unseemly, like look unseemly. They can attract what? Termites,
roaches, every type of insect there is.
Snakes.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because the snake goes in and looking for something to eat.
So again, if you're looking for full-on tree removal, tree trimming, and stump grinding, stump removal, they can do that for you there at Clearwater's Property Management. Call Reed Waters and his team today at 430-0376. That's 430-0376, and be sure to tell them that you heard about him here on the radio from Joey and Eddie.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A New York jury is expected to begin deliberations in the bribery trial of Senator Bob Menendez in New York City. The trial was played out for the past 2 months in Manhattan federal court. Federal prosecutors say Menendez and his wife catered to the needs of 3 New Jersey businessmen from 2018 to 2022 in return for gold, cash, and a Mercedes-Benz convertible. The lead detective in the killing of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on a New Mexico movie set is planned to be on the stand in the voluntary manslaughter trial of Alec Baldwin. Former U.S. Representative Tommy Robinson of Arkansas has died at age 82. He served 3 terms in the U.S., representing Arkansas's 2nd District. On Wall Street, the Dow had 414 points and the Nasdaq adding 217. This is SRN News.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-606-4110. 800-606-4110. Again, that's 800-606-4110.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. After a little improvement over the last couple of days, it looks like we're going to be starting to heat up again. Sunshine will dominate again today. I think the radar will be quiet once again, but I've got us in the upper 90s for a high temperature, and I think the heat index will be near the 100 mark. Low tonight down to about 72. Then it looks like a long string of days with highs in the upper 90s and triple-digit heat indices. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And over the weekend, those widely separated random showers and storms will start to pop up, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. Few and far between, though. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Soon we'll be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. During our big moving sale, get a great deal on a Kubota with 0% APR up to 84 months with approved credit. Now through September 30th, 2024. See Capital Tractor in Montgomery or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. A former insurance agent has been sentenced to 1 year in jail for stealing nearly $500,000 from the city of Montgomery. During the 7 years' time, Kelly Sayers Burt was assigned to handle the health insurance claims for city employees. She diverted over $465,000 worth of insurance reimbursements into her own bank account. A man was sentenced Thursday for a deadly shooting in a Montgomery parking lot. Henry Tyrese Wallace was sentenced to 20 years for killing 19-year-old Tyreek Moon outside the McDonald's on Madison Avenue in September 2019. Moon was struck in the head when Wallace began shooting into a parking lot gathering. Watauga County schools are about to open their first online school. Watauga Virtual Academy will begin operations soon for the upcoming school year. Federal funds will be used to start the K-12 school, but once it reaches 250 students, they will begin receiving state funding to hire local staff. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Independent Glass has been your one-stop shop for all things glass since 1978. They offer a full range of architectural products, and they're armed with the knowledge and expertise to get even the most demanding job done, big or small. Attention to detail, 24-hour replacement services, and their uncompromising commitment to excellence is why Montgomery's first choice for all things glass is Independent Glass. Call them today at 263-2823 and learn more about what they can do for you at independentglassco.com.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it. The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Second hour of news and views on a Friday free-for-all. Craig Munger had to step out a little bit, but Eddie Bader's still here in the house.
I'm here.
And we have the man himself on here.
Yes, we do.
Because I guess folks want to share more stories. We have Kevin Murphy.
Good
you know
friend.
him as Chief Deputy
That's
Kevin
right.
Murphy with the Sheriff's Office here in
friend of the
Montgomery.
show.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Joey and Eddie.
How you doing, buddy?
Joey and Eddie, I'm fine. I hope you guys are doing well. I know I'm going to set the bar a little low, but I just wanted to call in and let you know that I think this is one of your best shows. You know, it's been a long week. It's been a stressful week. I'm headed back to the office, and you guys have made me laugh so much. It's like medicine for the soul, and I just wanted to thank you guys. And no, Eddie, I'm not telling any stories.
Darn it!
They're going to be forever secret. I'll deny it till the day I die.
Because I know there's some good police stories of guys sitting in the cruiser and that coffee all of a sudden kick in. I know it's
Well,
happened.
When people get handcuffed and they tell you they need to use the bathroom, they're not always lying. I'll just say that. Okay?
Didn't even think about that one either.
Oh, goodness.
And I'll just leave it at that.
Well, happy to
Thank
make
God
us
they
smile,
make-
Kevin.
Hey, thanks, guys. You
Hey.
have a good weekend.
You too,
too.
Kevin. See you, buddy.
Yeah, good guy there. And somebody texted me saying when they were a youngster, they went number 2 in a urinal. It really upset somebody.
I imagine so. And I've told you off air, a lot of the resorts, people start drinking and they're eating healthy food and stuff. And at least once or twice a week, you see somebody's had to go to the urinal and drop it there.
Yeah.
But I never caught nobody in the act. And if I did, I couldn't look them in the eye.
Well, and I told you many a time, Fun Zone, like,
Oh,
there's the ticket person was being a moron. Like, when you'd enter Fun Zone, had a big booth with bulletproof glass. After the tornado hit it, we tested out how tough the bulletproof glass was. We were able to crack it with a dumbbell.
How heavy
Like
dumbbell?
throwing, I think, a 20-pound dumbbell that we
really?
slung. And it didn't break it, but it like
crack in there?
crack it,
Mhm.
a little dent. And but this person was like, a mother walked up and said, "My son really needs to use the bathroom." "Ma'am, you got to wait in line, get a ticket." "No, he really needs to use the bathroom." "Ma'am, you got to, no, you got to pay before you can enter." And so the mom just takes the kid outside and he crapped on the sidewalk right outside of Fun Zone.
Montgomery.
And of course, I don't know how many times kids pooped in the soft play, with all the tunnels and the ball pit.
I
And
wish you'd remind me of that.
we're still on poop stories, Craig Monger.
As a guy who had to
Sorry.
dress up as an icy bear and get dragged through that, it never crossed my mind.
Wait,
that I was
you got-
probably swimming in poo.
Wait, what happened when you were dressed up as the icy bear?
We were at it wasn't Fun Zone. They had another Discovery Zone or something like that. So we did.
Oh yeah. So how old are you when you're wearing the icy bear
mid
outfit?
20s.
Okay.
Trying to make my way in life, and so they said I'd have an employee guide me around,
Mhm.
which was nice because I couldn't see anything out of the mask. Well, they were busy that day, so I had little kids say, "Hey, come with me." And they weren't nice. They didn't take you to fun places in the place. In fact, they put me in that activity center with the ball case and those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got beat up in there for a good 45, 50 minutes before I could make my way out. But I remained professional. I kept the hood on, and no one ever knew that there was a guy inside the icy bear suit. But then my mother, of all people, came up to me. I don't know why she was there, but she came up to me, and she thought I was my partner that worked for Icy. She kept calling me by the wrong name. And finally I was like, Mom, it's me. It's your son. It's your son, Mother. Acknowledge me, please.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Things that I do when I was young.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Well, hey, this is T. Spear, and I haven't done any of those kinds of things. Truly, that's bad. That's bad. You had talked a little earlier about what Joe Biden had done during the conference,
Mhm.
and this is one that nobody has said very much about yet. He went blank for about 5 seconds,
Oh yeah.
and then he looks around and he's gazing in the distance, and he says, "I beg your pardon." Who was he talking to?
Oh yeah, I saw that clip. No, he goes, "What are you doing?" Yeah, where he freezes
You got
up, and
ghosts?
maybe the explanation is somebody running the teleprompter was screwing up. That's what it came across to me as, is he's reading the teleprompter,
Maybe it's going too fast.
and somebody went too fast, and he just stops and goes, "What are you doing?" And then he carries on with the speech, reading the teleprompter. It was a weird old man moment.
Wasn't this supposed to be an unscripted, completely unscripted?
That would be the big boy.
Well, the question and answer portion, but of course he had to make an opening statement, and he
I
needed
see.
those fancy things that everybody
Well,
uses now.
regardless, the man is obviously got issues. Please leave him alone. Let's let him finish out for at least the next 3 months, because there's no way in hell that that man is running this country. Vladimir Putin, Xi in China, and Kim Jong-il, all three are sitting back in there just very quietly applauding and saying, "Yep, let him screw up some more. Just let him keep on screwing up, because we're counting our days." If people do not see that this is a complete and utter danger to this country, then they are blinder than the old man who is sitting in an Afghanistan prison with his eyes burned out. There's nobody blinder than that.
Well, there you
This
go.
is a disaster, and people need to be watching and being very cognizant of who they're encouraging other people to vote for. You may not like Donald Trump. you may think, oh, well, you know what, Donald Trump is losing. Donald Trump is this. I'll take Donald Trump any day in the week over any Democrat that's running, or any Democrat in office, for that matter. Any day in the week.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, Joe Biden is just a creep show. That whispery thing he does, he gets down and he says, and I really mean it. Oh, Joe, just give it up. Just give it up. And Jill, for encouraging it, she ought to be ashamed of herself. When did ethics stop playing a part in our everyday lives? And ethics left her a long time ago. And we can all look back to Barack Obama when he said that Joe Biden could mess anything up. He's true. He said the truth then. Anyway, thanks, guys. Y'all have a good weekend. Keep up the good work.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Line 3, you're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Hello, how are y'all?
Good.
Good, thank you.
So do you want to talk about Biden's big boy press conference or poop in your pants story?
Yeah, the scripted press conference,
Okay.
maybe. But so look, I haven't heard anybody comment about it, but during the press conference when he went into the question and answer session there with the reporters, early on in that event, someone off the air, off the mic, I guess you could say, hollered out, "You know that's not true." And I was just wondering if I heard anybody comment about that, who that individual was. I'm guessing he's not going to be at any more press conferences. Or she.
Yeah, I don't know. You're the first person to bring this to my attention, so good find.
Yeah, it was early on in the question and answer, and they said, "Now you know that's not true." You could hear it clearly, you know, how he's kind of off the mic in the background there, and he looked over and he said, "Excuse me," or something like that. And he looked over, and that was it. Then he went back to the reporter that he was talking to. So, just curious. I thought that was interesting. You don't get that kind of thing going on with.
Yeah, the role the corporate media is playing right now, including the White House press corps, is kind of fascinating. It's like they've been let off the leash to go after the old man. But we'll see how it shakes up, Ed. Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
I'll look and see if anybody's been kicked out of the White House press corps.
He's not going to have any kind of press conferences like Trump, I'm sure.
No. Oh, no, not at all.
They
Thanks.
really went after him like rabid dog.
Yeah, they did.
Well, appreciate it, sir. 2729228, line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Jerry.
Hey,
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, good night. When I just tuned in, I don't get to do it very often because of scheduling my job. I just tuned in and I heard you talking about pooping in a urinal. And I'm like, what in the world are these guys talking about today? So I've got a story.
Okay.
Back years ago, I went to the Pensacola Beach to watch the Blue Angels.
Mm-hmm.
And they, every now and then, when they have a break in the flying, all of a sudden, you see about 100 people go to the water. I mean, it's people going all the way down the beach because while they're flying, you cannot go in the water at all. So I got thinking about that. I guarantee you about 50% of that water turned to urine. Yeah. And I decided right then and there I was not going to go get in the water during that break. So that kind of stuff, I don't know if people have experienced that, but I can assure you if you ever go watch the Blue Angels or any kind of thing at the beach and there's a break and 100 people jump in the water, be aware.
Or bring a catheter.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought that was nasty. I just don't think I'm going to go in.
Yeah, ruin a perfectly good air show.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Jerry.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Well, Joey, if you ever go to the beach and you're down at the beach, just looking across the folks in the ocean, you usually can tell the ones that are heading out to pee.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually two girls.
Yeah.
They get about waist deep.
Yeah, okay.
They sit there and giggle and they stare at the beach thinking nobody's realizing what they're doing. Happens all day long.
There's like a weird zero gravity thing that happens. It's kind of hard to pee in the ocean,
ocean, yeah.
especially if there's a good tide because
Yep.
you have to multitask.
Or there's lots of waves coming
Yeah.
in,
Having to fight that while trying to like do the right contractions, it can be complicated.
I'm going to rat out a friend here. Somebody used to call the show all the time. When he used to go to the beach, he was too lazy to get up to go out to the ocean. So he would just dig a hole right there and
He would take the time to dig a hole
right out of his chair there. We started calling him Cat Man because you know how cats do.
Yeah. We pieced that together there, Eddie. Yeah. It's so gross. Like what? Wait, number 1 or number 2 in the hole?
He always swore it was number 1, but
he always swore.
Right,
Yeah.
but it just
What, so you didn't investigate and watch?
No, I'll be honest, I was a little bit taken aback that he did that.
Step 1, cut a hole in the chair. No, I'm just getting some sun on my back, I promise.
We're reading from John McAfee for Dummies. If you know the reference. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Crawdad.
Hey, Crawdaddy.
You know, yesterday I got back from having the MRI and was in there, and now I am having to wait until September to find out what the results are. That's kind of weird, but we only have one neuro guy in Montgomery now. So I'm being patient. I hope he's going to be patient because I need to be one over there. And Joey, I know this is probably a topic that your family has been down the ringer with, bless your mother.
Yeah.
So when people are talking about what's going on with our executive branch up there, maybe that's popping in your memory of how people treat someone who is having something serious of this nature. I do pray for Joseph Brockanet, whatever, Baronet. I hope that his wife will pull up her big boy pants and get her husband to realize, okay, you got to be president, but serving the country is number one, not getting what you want and winning a prize. It's time to rest and go home. Let someone else, anyone else, my God, let someone else. That man he's got real problems. I remember reading many things. We've had other world leaders who have had mental and other issues where we jacked them up real good, like Dr. Feelgood taking Kennedy every morning, give him vitamin and the methamphetamine, mix, Dr. Goodtime, Dr. Feelgood's special, get him up out of the bed. He was in a lot of pain since he got run over by a boat in the South Sea trying to rescue his crew on that PT-109. It plagued him all the way forever. But despite what, oh my goodness, that bird up there just get us sorry about that. I can't control it.
It's all right.
Eddie,
Well, maybe Biden wants to be like his idol and die in office like FDR.
God bless him, man. But, you know, you did your job for your country. Go home and, Jill, for crying out loud, have some decency for everybody. But that's all I want to say about the man. When we had the Reich, that guy, you know, they had him hopped up every day, too.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty of videos of Hitler rocking very much on
I saw one today that was a little bit disturbing.
He was having problems. So despite what you think of a person, there's a bigger picture, and this nation is one of them. So God bless Donald Trump. Go in there, get a new crew on board, change things, throw the daggum crocodiles out of the swamp. And people like you, young man, you have done a fantastic job helping people to get plugged in better. with information, because that's what we're dealing with now. What was it to call it? The fifth state media? Is that the fourth state or whatever they call it?
Fourth estate or something like that.
Yeah, that's one of our worstest enemies right now. It is not the freedom of the press, and you've almost got me seriously looking more at libertarianism.
Go for it, man. Murray Rothbard's a good place to start.
I am looking at it. I got to get a few of my ducks in a row too now. Can I ask Eddie a question, please?
Very quickly.
Go ahead, buddy.
Thank you. I don't have the invisible fence like you have. I have the same group, Pest Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful folks.
Yes, they do.
But this invisible fence, do you plug it in, or does it run off of your wrist, or what?
No, they actually just, it's another chemical that they spray, and they spray it basically around the perimeter of where you don't want mosquitoes. And in my case, I'd love to do the whole yard, but it's too big of a yard, so we do it around the house so people can enjoy the decks. It works amazing.
Yeah, it was
really
a metaphorical invisible fence. But
Ich bin ein Amerikaner.
I don't know what you just called me, but I appreciate it, Crawdad.
Rock and roll.
Thank you, sir.
See you, Crawdaddy.
He said, I am an American, but he said Americana, which I'm pretty sure is Spanish, not Deutsch.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she's not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
There's so many things wrong with that sentence.
Yeah.
Obviously, Vice President Trump, but though I think she wasn't qualified to be president. What?
He's saying, I think he's trying to say that he's like, I wouldn't have picked her as vice president if I didn't think that she could be president.
Well, how about this?
Yeah.
We've played these guys before. It's a duo. One guy, I guess, Indian, one guy, very Irish. Redhead.
Oh, yeah.
And an Indian guy, and they're like a duo, and they do these parody songs because the guy, the redhead, can do a phenomenal Trump. Better than me. I think better than Shane Gillis. Like, this guy's Trump is top notch.
I can't wait.
So, do you know the song Landslide?
One of my faves.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac, Landslide.
One of my faves.
Lots
of people cover it, and I've never really heard a bad version.
There are good songs, and then there are songs that sort of reach a different echelon. And
100%.
in fact, it's the type of song I don't want to hear all the time. It's not like a fun song.
No, but when I hear it, it always just brings up just memories.
So would you like to hear Donald Trump covering Landslide?
Well, why not? I've never heard a bad version, so let's see what this one does.
Let's listen in together.
So sad. It's really just tragic because I took my love and, well, I took it right down. I said, unpost, not posting that. And I climbed a mountain so tall, so high, I turned around, I could barely breathe, I was so high. And I saw all my reflection in it. There's snow-capped little hills, so cold. Where the landslide or some other natural force brought me down.
Of course.
Now I ask you, Mr. Mirror, mirror in the sky, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Can the child within my heart, if you're still in there, rise above it? Can we? Can I sail through the changing, all so changing, the ocean tides with the moon waxing wane? Can I handle all the seasons, winter, fall, spring, summer of my life? I don't know. We won't know. Nobody knows. No one will know. No one will know.
I really never heard a bad version of that one. That was funny, but
there's a lot of stupid stuff on TikTok. I'm hoping those guys are making money now.
I hope they
are. That's.
I bet they are.
Are you on the TikTok?
No, I'm not on the talk. Are you on the talk still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Duke sends me TikToks.
You can't open them unless you're on the talk.
Right, now you can't.
Can you not? Last time someone did, I was able to watch it once.
Right, and I tried, and now you have to download it.
I'm
like, I'm not.
But I usually will find something on TikTok, and just to check it out, if it's really what I think it is, I'll go look it up elsewhere, or YouTube, or another social media thing, so I can see the video and I can actually share it.
Well, for some reason, the algorithms on my Instagram are the best, and I get the funniest things. But no one I know really uses Instagram, so I can never send it to people.
Send it
You
to me.
are?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, there's been so many.
There's
That's
some really good ones.
just changed my
I'll
life.
go down the realtor ones on Instagram, and they're the best. I mean, really are the best. They're some of the
I
most hysterical.
archived my Instagram and didn't look at it for 5-6 years. So when I booted it back up, because people kept sending me Instagram stuff, I realized, Joe, you've improved yourself. So I went through the arduous process of just unfollowing all sorts of accounts.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I still got some wrestling stuff on there,
Of
the
course.
hangover from
Some
that.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I was like, you need to be a little more wholesome on the Instagram, Joey. Stop it. I guess the dirtiest page I still follow is Slash, the guitarist. He puts up all sorts of gnarly metal art on naked ladies mixed with like demons and stuff.
He's
He's got a weird
cover,
aesthetic.
That's the one of the. That's the cover of the weird demon lady. He does a song called Anastasia with Miles.
Oh, great song.
So great.
Good song.
So great. Yeah. It's one of the tastiest riffs I've heard in a long time. That just the intro is amazing.
Yeah, I've been starting to look at Les Pauls. Like, buy
really?
one.
Really?
Yeah, and what models and stuff that's out there.
Those aren't cheap, dog.
Well, I know. Now, I'm obviously not going for an actual 59 or 58
yeah.
burst because I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars. But no, it's like slow. It's not I'm going tomorrow to buy one. It's more like, okay, let me look at all the models, really think about this. But when you look up Les Paul guitars, Slash is going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And man, the guy can still just wail on that guitar. Fantastic.
What's this guy I saw? I meant to send him to you this morning, actually. It's this really fat black guy. They call him Kingfish.
Oh, yeah, the dude is amazing.
Dude, holy crap. I never heard the guy before. And I sort of look at him, and he's almost kind of goofy looking because he's humongous, and he has this guitar, and it looks comically small next to him. But he starts playing, I'm amazed, and then he starts singing, and I'm like, dude, is this B.B. King reincarnate? My lord.
Well, and I love his stuff because there is this whole new face, and it's incredibly impressive. The sort of tapping techniques people now have it's remarkable, but I don't love listening to it. Like, I just don't love that sound. It's more fun to watch a person pull that off than kind of the music you're hearing. But sort of styles that are more classic, somebody can give new life into it. Kingfish, but also Gary Clark Jr.
I've seen him
rip it. You've seen him?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen stuff that's come up on reels. That's typically how I find like new artists, like Red Clay Strays. Have you heard of them? They're out of Mobile. I just randomly popped up on my Instagram one time. I was like, these guys are great. That's before I even knew that they were from Mobile, and it was like that old school sort of like Johnny Cash sound, but with modern technology. It's amazing. But there's a lot of new guys coming out with some good stuff.
And for all the downside of the internet, and there is a lot of downside, one thing with music is really cool is how accessible it is.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody can have a hit now. Now, usually it's still going to be the folks with the $1 million marketing campaigns and all the corporates pushing them. But occasionally you see folks pop up.
It's nice to see somebody get through.
Just all of a sudden out of nowhere. And it's like, why not just go for it? I'm actually thinking about the one I sent you, really tighten it up in terms of the mastering and then make a music video, get the distribution, copyright. They've got programs for that.
I think one part of that video should be you standing outside City Hall yelling at Stephen Reed.
No, I don't think I want my face in it. I think what I want to do is a very well done lyric video, but not just AI. And the concept is, because it's all about, where's the liberty, all the craziness of an election, the blind leading the blind, essentially.
So do a Guy Fawkes mask. Do like the Deadmau 5 or the
that could work,
or the Slipknot thing.
But I'm thinking different sort of like typesets for the lyrics because it's a lyric-driven song, and then like images of Trump speaking, Biden speaking, protest, like maybe the Guy Fawkes mask, just different aspects of politics in this country and around the world, and just go for it.
Isn't it so crazy that, speaking of the Guy Fawkes, this is a complete separation from what we're talking about, how resistance can be commercialized. The Guy Fawkes mask, it's like it's a commercialized thing now, and people will wear it or they'll post it, not even have no idea about the history or
capitalism does always win.
Yeah,
when people like the Marxists start talking about the commodification of this or that, I'm like, well, I don't like y'all's tone, but you're not wrong. Like, you could be rebelling against the system as you're making money off the system. A lot of folks in politics do it all the time. It's a great grift.
I think you should. I think that's why I like the Silk Road thing. It's like I'm fond of non-conformity while you're making money off of the system that you that you're protesting against. Now, of course, free my homie Ross, but anywho, never mind.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they're ready to help you men out with your health. It's that simple. That's the ad. No. Say you're feeling run down, tired.
Yeah.
Just don't feel like your past self.
Yeah, kind of the days.
It maybe something just recently happened too. You're like, where did my energy go? Where did my edge go?
Lose your edge.
Why am I also never in the mood? It could be low testosterone. In fact, knowing whether you have low T is huge in combating a lot of these issues. So what you need to do is go by Montgomery Men's Health. They'll conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And you also get a PSA score, which is a pretty good marker for prostate health without the full invasive procedure that everybody at, 50 and up knows?
Yep.
So Montgomery Men's Health can do that test. It's really just a simple blood draw. They run the blood, test it. And if you do, in fact, have low T, they have treatments there that can truly change men's lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And you can actually book the same day that you call. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods welcomes you, where every bite feels like coming home. Shashi's has been serving up all of your favorites for years in their eclectic homey dining room. Enjoy a relaxing lunch with a glass of wine. Everything from a meat and three to grilled Reubens, fried shrimp, fried oysters and shrimp and crab gumbo, Greek-style snapper, and smoked beef tenderloin. Everything is made homemade, and at Shashi's, the veggies come from the Montgomery Curb Market. If you're craving Shashi's cinnamon rolls, cream cheese brownies, or if you can't stop thinking about their fresh chicken salad, then head home to Shashi's. Put Saturday brunch back on your calendar and enjoy all of your favorites again. Whether it's Friday Eve, a birthday, or whatever the occasion, come home to Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods. Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods, an iconic, locally owned restaurant located at 1700 Mulberry Street.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. The radar has been quiet for the last 2 or 3 days. That will change over the weekend a little bit, but if you have evening plans tonight, we should be dry. Overnight low temperature falls to about 72. Then some very widely scattered, widely separated showers and storms will start to pop up over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, but they will be few and far between, and high temperatures will be in the upper 90s, not only over the weekend, but I think Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well, with triple-digit heat indices returning. A little July heat wave ahead. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. No, you like this one?
Yes. Yes, I do. It's groovy.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I don't know where it even came from.
It's like a modern Bee Gees type vibe to it.
Very disco, though. Like, that little guitar line is very old school.
Like Patrick Bateman would be listening to this while slaughtering a prostitute.
Like Studio 54 sort of stuff going on right there. Let's go to Duke. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
Oh, sitting there trying to get to this spot in my back here. This spot right in the damn middle, itching right here, but I can't get it. Damn, hold up a
Isn't
minute.
that just the worst? When you got like a spot that you
boy.
can't reach?
I can't reach the damn thing without throwing my shoulder out.
Have you ever thought about trying yoga?
I ate some over the other day. My wife asked me to.
Or you could just back up to a corner in the house and scratch your whole back.
Yeah, but then you look like a grizzly bear. If you're in public, you can't really do
Right, in
that.
public, yeah, you do look like a
And
weirdo.
she got mad about it that I ate it. But that exercise yoga stuff, I'm not messing with that. Okay. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to. I get it after a while. I put it on hold for a little while. Aggravating though.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Joey, what's
Mhm.
been up with you?
I'm just ready for the weekend, man. And been watching a lot of podcasts and making music, and I need to read more. I haven't been reading enough. But yeah, I'm good.
Actually, I'm gonna jump on you about something. But I got to put that on hold because I got Mr. Craig to talk to today about some things.
What's up, dude?
I went to this place last night, called the Gaming Center for a little while, and they took my little change I put in that machine, but they called it gaming. So, enlighten me, sir, Mr. Guy, about the gambling bill or whatever. You hadn't told us anything lately. What's up with you?
Well, I mean, the gambling bill is dead as a doornail. Right towards the end of the session, it didn't go anywhere. So, whatever quote unquote gambling you could do a few months ago is all you're allowed to do now. The bills didn't go anywhere.
And it doesn't look like they're going to bring it back up either.
Not unless something magical happens.
Right.
And Red Talk can't get his smoke. I mean, what we gonna do, man?
I don't know. Stop
Red Talk can't get
stop
high?
electing people that tell you what you can do.
There's an idea.
But these people promised us that they would let us vote on this thing
Right, we did vote, right?
and those things.
They promised that we could vote, and they let us vote.
Well, the problem is it's never just like a clean bill that says, hey, yeah, you know what, you folks can do whatever you want. You want to open a business, open it, do whatever you want. No, it's always there's stuff tied in. There's kudoses given to this interest or that. So I had a lot of problems with the bill. What'd you say?
They put it in the hands of the politicians that you all elect.
Yeah, and then the politicians are funded by certain interests, and those certain interests want their cut. That's why they
No,
fund
they
the
wouldn't do that.
politicians.
They wouldn't be bought off or anything like that, would they? Come on, now, Joey.
No,
Come on.
you're talking
trying-
crazy.
You trying to spread fake news around here? Come on.
Right. It just reminds me of when my guy Vivek on stage goes, "These bought and paid for people," and they're all so offended.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you? It's like, you know how the system works, you jackasses.
I mean, the governor should veto this thing. Can't she veto this thing and pass it on through?
No, it didn't even get out. It's got to get out of the legislature.
Yeah.
They get out of that.
And she could call a special session, but she's not going to do it unless it's a guaranteed
if they
win.
don't have the votes, it's no point, and they just don't have the votes. There's too much disagreement out there, and it's dead.
Well, the problem with gambling that killed it, and the problem with medical marijuana, why it still isn't up and running, is cronyism. And
So we still gonna be last with all this other stuff too, like here,
Yeah.
Education we last, healthcare, and now other states got National Football Leagues, there's pro teams and all that, and Mississippi and Alabama still don't have it, but
we're the equivalent of the Cleveland Browns of states.
so we can't get it. We can't even gamble, but we let the Alabama kind of backwards, isn't it? Aren't they?
No, I mean, we really could be great. There's no reason that Alabama shouldn't be booming with our access to we have coast, we have
we
have
got
ports,
rivers,
waterways. We
we've got mountains.
connect so much of the state. The problem is the problem with anything is there's just a lot of mismanagement because these people don't care. They spend their money like a sailor new at port, and they do so with impunity because it's not their money, it's yours.
But we can't never be first on anything besides what? Football. Okay, football.
Yeah, football.
And Auburn wins on there once in a blue.
And earmarking.
Yeah.
Shelby was really good at
He's
earmarking.
really good at the earmarking.
Katie Britt pulling off that
Yeah.
$500 million grant.
Oh
for-
yeah, she for the bridge.
Oh.
She learned well.
Anyhow, it's gonna be all right though. I guess state of Alabama, we got so much stuff going on, you know.
Yeah, you just can't depend on the state to do it. You got to do it yourself.
We got a lot of great people here, man. Like
Yeah.
I love the people of the state. I've been. It's like that Johnny Cash song. I've been everywhere. I've been to pretty much every state in this nation. I've been to multiple countries. I've been all over. Alabama really does have some great folks.
And I was making this point earlier this week, Craig, talking about that town hall
Yeah.
I watched with the mayor's town hall. And I've had this experience at city council meetings, at other town halls council members have put on, that even when there's an issue that creates tension in the room, there's usually a moment where somebody says a thing and the whole room just starts cracking up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, these are my people. This is Montgomery. Like, as much as it's a serious topic, everybody's kind of chill. There's a few weirdos, but everybody's kind of chill.
People cool, yeah, everybody cool and everything, but you know, just it died a whole lot since I've been here. It's, you know, nothing to do at all, really.
What's wrong with that?
Huh?
There's always something to do. I don't need a busting nightlife. Maybe that's because I'm a boring old fogey, but I don't need a whole bunch of stuff to do. I just want to be a place where I can be left alone to raise my family, build my chicken coops, and chop down trees and do all of this without the government taking
That
half
fear
of
the
my
man
crap.
coming
Yeah.
down on you. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's most people, but the problem is when you get into places like Montgomery, and you heard this at the town hall, everyone thinks that their opinion is the most valuable one. It's like they had the opportunity to ask questions of the mayor, and instead they gave their ill-conceived
speech.
opinions.
Yeah.
And you know what's the old expression? Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. Well, we got no chiefs and a whole lot of Indians.
Yep. Anyhow,
You all right, Duke? You seem a little down. Maybe you should take up yoga.
not the son them put a whipping on me.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't do that.
Well, get you like a Seagram's Escape, like a nice 4-pack of Seagram's Escapes. Go sit on the front porch, throw a few of them back. I don't know if you smoke tobacco, but I would highly recommend it. And then, you'll realize that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. But I didn't want to talk about, you know, the president and nothing like that. You know, I just kind of trying to stay away from the politics and, you know, talking bad about white folks and stuff like that today. I was trying to chill today, you know.
We deserve
appreciate
it.
you taking the day off for that.
Yeah.
You taking the day off from that.
But I just thought about that gambling thing, and Mr. Craig, he usually come in and tell us how things were going, but it's a done deal basically.
Yeah,
it's
and
done.
it's their off season. It's been their off season for a little while here.
Yeah, and this upcoming session is going to be the one before election year, so they're probably going to keep it relatively tame. But, you know, there's always Philadelphia, Mississippi, you know what I mean?
That's true.
No, I'm gonna clarify something. I don't gamble that much. I go in once in a blue moon, but when I go, you know, I like to kind of recognize that this thing is operating legally. Yeah, them people just ripping people off down there, not regulated at all, and just, I mean, you see some stuff, you know, that hey.
But you know what? I'll tell you what though. I've played blackjack and I've played Hold'em at casinos. I don't like the machine games. I'm not a big fan. I like blackjack. I like poker. But man, get yourself a good home game going. If you got a decent home game set up, that's more fun than any casino. I mean, you have to pay for the booze, but you lose less money most of the time.
I just want to get out of the house. That's all, you know, for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Well, do it at someone else's
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
Why do I have to make all the solutions here?
Well.
Love you, Duke. Gotta run, man.
I used to do all that stuff right there. You know, I just like to just chill and just hang around the crib, and me and the wife just dance around the house and stuff like that. You know.
All right. That sounds like living to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. All right.
See you, Duke.
Good.
Peace out, Duke.
272-9228. This entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon. We haven't seen. We need to.
I talked to our friend Madeline last night. There was a little bit of a scheduling conflict, but she'll be back.
Okay.
We got it coming.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to see her back in the studio. And of course, there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim and Madeline can help you whether you're looking to purchase a home or maybe you're looking to refinance that home. Maybe you're a veteran who's never taken advantage of the VA home loan program.
Best deal in town, Joey.
You earn these benefits, and if you haven't taken advantage of it, you're leaving money on the table. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean by best game in town?
Well, you can get VA loans. You can get a lot of them with no money down. They have the best interest rate in town. And not only that, there are specific conditions that house has to be in for a VA guy to be able, or VA woman or male has to be able to move in. Like there can't be no rotten wood. You know, they don't want any VA member to buy a house knowing that they've got problems. So with a VA membership or VA loan that you could get right now in Montgomery or surrounding areas, it's the best loan out there. And everyone accepts the VA because they know it's a guaranteed loan.
And they are VA home loan certified there at Alabama Home Mortgage. So check them out today. You can always call them 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and lethal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
I like what I like, and I do what I want.
Do what you want, be who you want, and elevate your game to fabulous at Wind Creek Atmore. Stay in our luxurious suites and rooms, relax in the tranquil spa, play any of our 1,700 exciting games on our spacious gaming floor. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Atmore. It's your kind of fabulous. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. And Eddie just came in with gifts like shirts and stuff.
Yes, from one of our favorite listeners, Karen's out there. A while back, she gave Greg one. And then I happened to say over there that Joey already had one. And she's like, you guys don't have one? I want y'all to have one matching. So if you'll notice, the three of us have matching shirts now.
Turd Ferguson 2024. Turd Ferguson.
Turd Ferguson.
Yeah, that'd be a funny president.
That would be.
It would be. It'd be great.
Should we all strip down and put them on right now? Give
I
the
like
people at
that
home a
one
real
lot,
show?
too. These are all great.
Oh, these are cool. These are cool.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
I
let me
got
see.
the same one as Eddie. So me and Eddie are going to be matchy-matchy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Look
how
at
you like
you.
that?
You're like Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
You don't,
Turd Ferguson.
you don't say that.
Hater.
you don't say that in this day and age. Hey, while I go to Biloxi Gambler, can you call Michael?
I can do it.
Yeah, let's go to Biloxi Gambler. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Duke, you leave at breakfast at noontime. You're at a dice table in Biloxi.
How is Biloxi? I've never been there. I've gambled in Philadelphia. I've
Well-
never Biloxi.
Well, Philadelphia's Indians. I don't play Indians. They're not taxed or not regulated.
Mhm.
Biloxi is Vegas on the coast. It is the food, the entertainment, everything. I'm not a Biloxi shill. In fact, I'm a Biloxi gambler because I'm against gambling in Alabama completely, and that's why I'm a Biloxi gambler. It's real close. It's great. We're lucky to have it there. You know, you don't have to go to Vegas. For the people that want the marijuana at the poker table, they're always trying to give me, because recreational marijuana in Las Vegas is legal.
Right.
So, and they're always trying to give me gummies, trying to mess my game up, because I don't do marijuana and I'm not doing gummies. But, yeah, it's absolutely, if you haven't been, you need to go. I'm telling you, you will go in through Ocean Springs, take that exit, go in off that bridge that Bush built after Katrina. It is a gorgeous view driving over. It's a great introduction to the city, and you'll like it. I stay away from Hard Rock because they're owned by the Seminole Indians. But it's the same stuff.
Hey, Custer, calm down with the anti-Indian rhetoric. What'd they ever do to you?
They've had 160 years to catch up. I'm tired of the scam. But the Hard Rock I stay away from, plus all the, what is it called, puns. Everything's a pun.
Yeah.
Everything's a, it's like...
He who would pun would pick a pocket. Sorry.
Yeah, it something about let the good times roll is on the toilet paper. I can't do that. I'm sorry.
Well, I appreciate the second.
You say hello, we say goodbye, or something.
Yeah.
That song. That's when you leave the parking deck. Go talk to my buddy there, Mr. Cohen.
Yes,
been
sir.
doing business with him for 60 years. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, bud.
See you, dude.
And indeed, Michael Cohen on the line. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great.
How's it going at Cohen's here on this fine Friday?
Lovely. And I mean that with sarcasm.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I can smell that sarcasm from here.
So I think we need to get somebody to stop by there and buy like a brand new grill or refrigerator or something.
I think so. Earn your keep, Joey. Let's go.
There you go.
Washer dryer units, folks. The appliance side of the store. You walk in, you see sort of the entertainment side, right?
Yeah.
And the great luxury seating options and the huge TVs, audio options. But you get back there, you could fill out an entire home with y'all's appliance selection.
That's right. That's right. I mean, we've got all the appliances from countertop microwaves to over-the-range microwaves, all the ovens. They make different sizes. They make them as singles and double ovens that go in the wall. We've got the ranges. We've got cooktops. We've got the refrigerators. We've got counter depth, regular depth, built-in dishwashers, washers, dryers. We have everything except someone to do the work for you.
There you go. But you do have somebody who can deliver, and like say you're getting a new fridge, and y'all can take away the old fridge while the new one comes in.
That's right. We can deliver. We'll haul off your old one. We don't charge any additional to haul off if we're delivering something for you. And the biggest thing is that we have our own technicians. And we want to take care of you after the sale as well.
Folks, you can always shop from home there at thinkcohens.com, but I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard, right here in Montgomery, and be sure to tell Michael that, hey, we heard you talking to Joey and Eddie, those guys on the radio.
That's right. Come see us. We're open today until 6. We're open on Saturday until 4, and you can also check us out at thinkcohens.com.
Appreciate it, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Take care.
Have a good weekend, bro.
Final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A second person has died in Vermont in the flooding from Hurricane Beryl's remnants. Police say the driver was swept away in his vehicle by floodwaters Thursday in Lyndonville as he tried to drive across a flooded road. Alec Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter trial put on hold while a judge considers a defense motion to dismiss the case over disputed ammunition. Judge Mary Marlowe Sumner sent the jury home, told them to return Monday. The defense has argued that prosecutors hid evidence from them about the ammunition that may be related to the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of the film Rust in 2021. Telecommunications giant AT&T with a security breach affecting millions of accounts. On Wall Street, the Dow ahead 428 points. This is SRN News.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity and peace of mind.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. The radar has been quiet for the last 2 or 3 days. That will change over the weekend a little bit, but if you have evening plans tonight, we should be dry. Overnight low temperature falls to about 72. Then some very widely scattered, widely separated showers and storms will start to pop up over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, but they will be few and far between, and high temperatures will be in the upper 90s, not only over the weekend, but I think Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well, with triple-digit heat indices returning. A little July heat wave ahead. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Do you have big plans this summer? Dive into summer with an ASE Credit Union vacation loan. Whether you've got a trip coming up, projects at home, or just need a little extra cash, we've got you covered. So don't put your plans on hold. Visit yourasecu.com or stop by and see us today.
1819 News.
The Republican candidate for the Congressional District 2 race, Caroline Dobson, is now renewing her calls for her Democratic opponent, Shamari Figures, to make a public statement about Joe Biden's mental fitness to hold office. Dobson made a post on social media after an hour-long press conference was held on Thursday night by Joe Biden. Biden referred to Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky as President Putin. That's the president of Russia. He also made a confusing statement about Vice President Trump when he was referring to Kamala Harris, who's his actual VP, and he said he's following the orders of his commander-in-chief, then stopped short of naming that person. Technically, Biden is the commander-in-chief. Dobson posted on social media about all of these blunders, saying the White House is quickly becoming Weekend at Bernie's, which is a reference to a 1989 movie about a dead boss being propped up by 2 insurance employees. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Schaefer with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
A young Dale County mother is facing charges after her child was found playing near a busy highway. 21-year-old Ashley Norton is facing reckless endangerment charges. Her 1.5-year-old girl was playing in a ditch on the side of Highway 134. Norton claims that she fell asleep in a nearby house and the child wandered off. The Department of Human Resources is also involved in this case. And the Blue Angels are ready to take flight this weekend at the Pensacola Beach Air Show. The air show will start at 2 p.m. along the Pensacola Beach on both Friday and Saturday. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hey, Biscuits fans, if you're looking for a great value on some 2024 tickets, look no further than our 20-game flex pack to celebrate 20 years of Biscuits. It's perfect for fans who want the flexibility to attend any regular season home game and includes 20 vouchers for games of your choice. They can be used in any combination The choice is yours. And it comes with $25 in food bucks. For tickets and more information, visit biscuitsbaseball.com or call the box office at 323-BALL. Butter up.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. And, you might love Trump. You might be riding with Biden. But my vote in 2024 will be for Turd Ferguson. Wearing my Turd Ferguson 2024 shirt. Who brought these?
Be Karen. Great. She brought Greg some a while back.
Thank you, Karen.
These are beautiful. And you can see we all have donned our shirts.
Yeah.
Turd Ferguson 2024, baby.
A little big on me.
But hot water. Dry it. We could go.
No, I like that one a lot. I like that
That's
color
what you
scheme.
have there. You have
Similar. I have the same photo. It's not the exact same. I love that it's written in the marker.
Yeah.
Turd Ferguson on top.
It's funny.
That skit when it first came out was hysterical. I mean, it just hit right from the get go.
Yeah, I would play it, but SNL in particular immediately
Gets you
gets flagged for
Yep.
copyright.
Yep.
Like, it's hard to find SNL clips on YouTube at all.
Very.
Like, the beauty of Twitter is most of that stuff is still available. Now, shifting gears, Catherine Herridge. This goes back to when I was working this time slot, noon to 3 with Dan Morris.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan Morris and I just sort of converged on, some reporters you like, some you don't. Then you start to get just a general sour taste in your mouth about corporate media. But even in that sour taste started to show up, that bitter on the tips of my teeth, I started to notice that Dan and I still were like, but Catherine Herridge seems solid. Then she leaves Fox, goes to CBS, and we're like, oh, no, they got to her. No, her reporting was still very solid. And then right before it seems like she's going to get this big scoop and put it out on CBS about the laptop with Hunter Biden, they let her go. Huh. I guess she didn't play ball. She did a long sit down with Tucker Carlson.
Okay, I saw some clips of that last night. Yeah.
I haven't seen any of this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I guess we wasted time on the ESPYs. But here is one moment that I think is, an example of why Catherine Herridge, I think she might be dangerous as an independent. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
This is in particular about all these folks that have done interviews with Biden. And often, like, Craig, you're in the business, like, people will record the conversation often with permission. And so you have the uncut tapes. You have that information. I doubt these journalists are destroying that information.
No.
You could at least produce a transcript. And yet, I think only now ProPublica has decided to release a full transcript of an interview they did that created a write-up. And it's kind of to their credit. It's like, okay, ProPublica. A little late.
Yeah.
But
a bit delayed.
Here's Tucker on with Catherine Herridge on this issue.
I knew you would. I knew you would. Okay, so I just have to ask you, because I was in television a long time also, but you were in the news side of television preparing interviews and packages and every day for decades. And given your extensive knowledge of that, I'm just a little bit confused by how the media, people in our business, former business, could look at the last debate with Biden and Trump and say, I just can't believe that there's something wrong with him, that he's neurologically compromised or ill or senile or whatever, that he's not operating the way that he used to. How could this be news to people who've interviewed him before?
Well, I think this is a real opportunity to gather more data and to take an investigative lens and look at this issue of President Biden and his decision to seek re-election. We've got some data points already. We have the debate that you've just referenced, that people were so surprised at his demeanor. And we now have this ABC interview and the full transcript. I think it's a moment where other media organizations who've done interviews with the president over the last couple of years could release the full transcripts from those interviews. I think it makes sense because we'd have broader data points to assess, was this a one-off, as the White House says, or were there indications of decline earlier on? Were they obvious and apparent, or were they subtle and missed? And if they were obvious, why was it that they seemed to end up on the cutting room floor?
And again, she's being, I think, very charitable there to try to, well, that's her approach. She tries to do it in the most sort of systematic, objective way. But it seems obvious that the signs were there early.
Oh yeah,
obvious.
And they covered for him.
Yes,
They intentionally covered it up.
That's why out of both sides of their mouths they're saying, well, the right-wing conspiracy theories that Biden's going to be replaced are still conspiracy theories, but also there's this whole committee behind the scenes.
And they act like the public doesn't know about it.
And then Business Insider reports that like Obama's the main force behind this. And I mean, who knows what's true? But there's clearly a war going on through media and other means at the donor level when it comes to Joe Biden and who will the eventual nominee be for the Democratic Party. But another part of this Act 2 of the general election cycle is Trump's VP pick.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was pretty high on Burgum, Doug.
Yep, Doug.
And then I saw that Karl Rove endorsed him. And Burgum's dead to me.
Yep.
Sorry, Doug.
Yeah,
I know you didn't do it.
I get it.
But Karl Rove, Well, Rove is like, oh, I gotta, because it wasn't just that he praised Burgum. And then he said, oh, Burgum should be Trump's guy. He is constantly, and all the sort of Bush Republicans, that old Republican elite guard, are constantly crapping on J.D. Vance.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me think, I should give J.D. Vance a second look. Now, I didn't have him high up because I always thought, well, J.D. is in the Senate and he's solid. Like, why would we take a great brand new senator who's solid out of the Senate?
Right.
But he is good. I'm going to start with a little sillier one because he recently spoke at this NatCon, this National Conservatives Convention, National Conservatism Convention. And this one is a little more just tongue-in-cheek, going after some of the hawks in foreign policy.
I have to beat up on the UK. Just one additional thing. I was talking with a friend recently, and we were talking about, one of the big dangers in the world, of course, is nuclear proliferation, though, of course, the Biden administration doesn't care about it. And I was talking about, what is the first truly Islamist country that will get a nuclear weapon? And we were like, maybe it's Iran. Maybe Pakistan already kind of counts. And then we sort of finally decided maybe it's actually the UK, since Labour just took over.
Well done, JD, on that one.
Wow.
But it wasn't just that. He actually had portions of the speech that was very serious, I think, good points being made. And this in particular to me sounded at the level of somebody who could not only be a vice president, but a president. And I mean that in terms of the messaging and the speeches that you can give.
Okay.
Let's listen in. This is, again, J.D. Vance at the National Conservatism Conference.
One of the things that you hear people say, even on our side, that you hear people say, is that America is the first creedal nation. Okay? America is an idea. Now, America has really good ideas at the founding of our country. It was created by very brilliant men. The Constitution, of course, had this incredible influence in political theory, and that's why it has stood the test of time. But America is not just an idea, though we were founded on great ideas. America is a nation. It is a group of people with a common history and a common future. And yes, thank you. One of the parts of that commonality as a people is that we do allow newcomers to this country, but we allow them on our terms, on the terms of the American citizens. And that's the way that we preserve the continuity of this project from 200 years past to hopefully 200 years in the future. And let me illustrate this in a particular way. I am married to the daughter of South Asian immigrants to this country, incredible people who genuinely have enriched the country in so many ways. And of course, I'm biased because I love my wife, but I believe that it's true. But when my wife and I when I proposed to her, we were in law school, and I said, honey, I come along with $120,000 worth of law school debt and a cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky. And that's what you're getting, right? And that cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky, if you drive down Kentucky Route 15 and go to Jackson, Kentucky, that's my family's ancestral home. Before we migrated to Ohio about 60, 70 years ago, that's where all of my relatives came from, is the deep heart of central Appalachia. This is Kentucky coal country. By the way, one of the 10 poorest counties in the entire United States of America. Of course, our elites love to accuse the residents there of having white privilege. Go to Breathitt County, Kentucky, and tell me that these are privileged people. They are very hardworking people, and they're very good people. And they are people who love this country, not because it's a good idea, but because in their bones they know that this is their home and it will be their children's home, and they would die fighting to protect it. That is the source of America's greatness, ladies and gentlemen. And I get to represent millions of people in the state of Ohio who are exactly like that. But in that cemetery, there are people who were born around the time of the American Civil War. And if, as I hope, my wife and I eventually are laid to rest there, and our kids follow us, there will be 7 generations just in that small mountain cemetery plot in eastern Kentucky, 7 generations of people who have fought for this country, who have built this country, who have made things in this country, and who would fight and die to protect this country if they were asked to. That is not just an idea. That is not just a set of principles, even though the ideas and the principles are great. That is a homeland. People don't go and fight and die just for principles. Importantly, they go and fight and die for their home, for their families, and for the future of their children. If this movement is going to go anywhere, and if this country is going to thrive, we have to remember that America is a nation. We're going to disagree sometimes about how best to serve that nation. We're going to disagree, of course, even within this room, about how to best accomplish the reinvigoration of American industry and the renewal of American family. That's fine. But never forget that why we exist, why we do this, why we care about all those great ideas is because I would like eventually for my kids to lay me to rest in that cemetery, and I would like them to know that the United States of America is as strong and as proud and as great as ever. Let's get to work to make that happen. God bless you guys, and thank you.
That speech came across to me, whatever you think of it, maybe personally, folks, as like, okay, this guy's getting ready. And he's given speeches like that on the Senate floor. But it struck me as a more presidential speech. Now, and that's just one portion of it, one small portion of it. I also think J.D. Vance might be the guy because there's been a lot of hit ads against him, or hit pieces against him recently. And I have to say, if he was announced as the VP for Trump, I would not be disappointed.
Not at all.
I don't know how excited I would be, but I wouldn't be disappointed.
I think I think he'd be a really good pick just because he is obviously very well spoken. He has a fantastic story. Again, read his book.
Oh yeah.
But he's also just obscure enough to not cause too many ripples. So it's almost like Sarah Palin, if she wasn't a dummy, like nobody knew who Sarah Palin was. Right. So, but the problem there was when you start learning about Sarah Palin, you developed a less stellar opinion of her. I think the more that people try to find out who J.D. Vance is, they'll develop a better opinion.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, now, somebody who would get me excited is just because I like the guy would be Vivek, but I don't see it. I'm going to be very surprised if Trump picks
I would
Vivek.
be too.
I would be surprised if he took it.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're going to play ad nauseum all the clips of him saying that he would never accept the VP, and that just doesn't look good.
Who would we be disappointed in? If he tried to resurrect Kristi Noem.
Any of the modern conservative ladies, I think, would be an absolute disaster.
Really?
Yeah.
Any of them?
Any of them.
Trying to think of the others.
Who's your girlfriend up there? Disaster.
Yeah.
Not because of anything women's messaging, especially in politics, is inherently different. And the only reason to do that would be if there's a possibility that you are going to claim some of the female vote if you're Donald Trump, and you're just not. You're just not.
Right. That is true.
They just don't. The ones that love you almost to a creepy level, in the case of Marjorie Taylor Greene. But the ones that hate you, they're going to hate you no matter who you pick as a VP. So get someone up there who's like a J.D. Vance, who's very well spoken. Here's the problem. A lot of the conservative ladies, they're just shrill. They're just inherently unlikable. I don't
Cannot
find
argue with that.
I don't find much of what they say to be compelling. There's not a lot of unique ideas, and they're literally the tone of their voice is unpleasant to the ear. That's just my 2 cents. So I would go with Byron Donalds. I don't think he's going to do it because that man is a monster. I didn't realize how big he was. And I don't think that Donald Trump's ego. I don't think his ego.
Because I like Donald's a lot.
I do. I like his messaging for sure, but I don't think Donald Trump can be dwarfed on stage next to his VP. Just physically, he can't do it.
So I'm gonna do a little test here. Is
here you are?
Is she shrill?
Was out due to family emergencies. I think 2 members ended up going to the hospital. So what I will say is that there was actually a numbers issue. It's not just this that went down. There was a legislative appropriations bill that actually went down, and that's one of our biggest bills that we do of the year. And so I will say this, we've already refiled, and I'm actually currently in talks with one of the members that has been a hard no on multiple contempt votes. And so it's my hopes that we can get everyone on board. And obviously we will be fully bringing this back up as soon as we get back.
Now, she's not going to be VP, but that's the voice of Anna Paulina Luna. She's been leading the charge on this inherent contempt vote for Garland.
Soon to be Anna Paulina Clark.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Good last name.
Yeah.
Wait, no. She's already married and has a kid.
People can be assassinated easily these days. I'm looking out for you, Joey.
I got a little crush on her, but it's not
a little crush, Eddie.
A little.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I think she's great.
Yeah, we know.
Like, in a wholesome way.
Sure. Eddie, what?
It's just let him live his dream there.
So I'm only allowed to praise ugly broads, and nobody's suspicious.
What ugly broad have you ever praised?
Name it. Name one.
Yeah, give me one.
I was about to say Susan Collins, but I haven't praised her. I've made fun of her royally. The cat and back Donald Trump anymore.
He's struggling. Look at him. There's steam coming out of his ears.
Coming up with nothing.
I think we just changed his entire outlook. We taught him something about himself that he didn't know.
I think he knew.
He thinks he's fond of policy. No, I think he deluded himself to thinking he was fond of policies when in fact it had to do with the hair and the smile.
Or I could have been lying the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
You're lying to yourself, Joseph. It's the worst kind of lie.
Come on, anybody? Anyone?
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, I'm trying to think of women in politics that have risen. Well, Nancy Pelosi I've certainly not praised.
No, he's thought of one or two in the state that he doesn't want to say.
That's what I'm reading in there, yeah.
Oh, it'd be like, well, you're ugly, but I like your policies. That's what you're trying to get me to say right now.
Name a successful politician who's been good looking. I'll wait.
Ronald Reagan.
He was not a good looking guy.
Yeah, thank you.
He was literally a movie star.
You could.
Yeah,
so is Gary Busey.
Yeah, this is
All right.
true. So is Lena
Sashimi.
Dunham, and she looks like the melted ice cream.
Man, I've never praised her.
Yeah, nor should you.
Good-looking presidents?
There's never been a good-looking first lady either. Like,
Trump's wife wasn't bad. She wasn't the worst.
that doesn't count.
Compared
That's sort of...
to the.
what about Jackie Kennedy? Jackie Kennedy was a pretty
She
lady.
was
Yeah,
very dry.
but that's about it. I think that's.
Yeah, and I would put JFK up there, though I wouldn't.
He's a handsome fella. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
JFK was very
Bit
handsome.
of a player.
Andrew Jackson, man. Those long locks.
Oh yeah,
especially because they're real.
John Adams.
And plus that, like,
look at that powdered wig.
So if we could go back to the girls that you can't think of, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, because we haven't had a female president.
Well, let's just go in politician
in general.
Who is an ugly politician that you are fond of?
Lately, it's been Fetterman.
Hey, you guys.
Hey, Chuck.
Well, yeah, and
seriously, DC's been called Hollywood for ugly people for a long time for good reason.
So you see why.
Yeah, it is interesting, though. More folks, I think, for instance, Anna Paulina Luna's obviously just good looking, but there are more folks jumping in like that. Like, she literally was an influencer on Instagram before running for Congress.
Was she on Instagram? I thought she was TikTok. I don't know either, so.
Yeah, so I think you're just going to see more of that because it's the way the culture has gone.
What about AOC? Do you think she's a pretty lady?
She's attractive, yeah.
I could not disagree with you more.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm not talking about her opinions or
I'm serious. I'm being completely materialistic here, and I think that her eyes. Remember, what was the scene at Casino when Joe Pesci had the guy's head stuck in a vice,
and they started to bulge?
Yeah, they started to pop out, like the Asian dude in Walking Dead after he got cracked with the baseball bat. That's what she looks like.
Granted, if I saw her in public, I would say, "Oh wow, look at her." But then when she opened her mouth, I go, "Oh God."
She's the shrillest of shrill, by the way.
No doubt.
Well, there was a time when I praised Madeleine Albright.
Well, that surprised me, Joey. You've always had a thing for older
Yeah.
women.
What about Nancy Grace? Did she tickle your fancy back in the day?
She looks like she's straight out of Chisholm, by the way.
Dude, she does.
I've said that for years.
She looks like she's like trying to get with her Newport stained acrylic nails, just trying to pull something out of her ear outside of Citgo. And she's mad because the guy wouldn't take her change.
Yep, I've said it for years. It's like, I think I grew up with her in Chisholm. She had a different name, but I swear I think I grew
That bouffant hairdo. God have mercy. She was the worst. What is she doing these days?
I'm sure it's still
Nancy Grace.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I tried to forget that woman.
Yeah.
Because, you flip through the channels back when I still had cable, and it's like her yelling about something.
Let me tell you, wrestling is causing death across this country. She sounds like, she's like someone let some white trash, like single mom, just get in front of a microphone one day and start ranting about crime. Ugh. God, I haven't thought about her in forever.
No, I'm still stuck on y'all's question, because I think what's going on here is most folks are well-groomed. And like good hygiene, well dressed. So nobody's like fugly. There are a few guys I can think of, like Jerry Nadler and stuff. But like with the women in Congress, I don't even. The ones that stand out are the ones who are like, okay, I haven't seen a good looking congressman.
I'm not talking. We're not asking you to define someone who's like middling, but like name someone who's like a dog that you.
That's where I'm in trouble.
Yeah, like so. I would say, for instance, Marjorie Taylor Greene is very unattractive, incredibly so. So like something like that.
Well, I haven't really. I wouldn't call her a dog.
Really?
Yeah, I think she kind of just looks normal.
Not bad looking. Not my. I mean, again, she starts talking, just not my kind.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, you don't
that's
like
why
it is the voice
away,
that'll
right.
kill you with a lot of.
I'm about to say, you don't like a lady with a strong back?
She's got that, dude. She's got guns.
She's got those granny arms. I remember there was a lady. No, I remember there was a lady. I'm not going to say her name because she lives near here. But we were on a bus, and she was maybe late 40s, and I always thought that she had muscular arms, but she was grabbing this thing on a bus, and her triceps that I thought were triceps just turned out to be fat. And then every time we'd hit a bump, they just go. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, and I think we kind of went down this road because remember what Trump said about J.D. Vance just yesterday?
No.
That is one handsome son of a bitch. I'm telling you, folks.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
He's not wrong. He's a good
Yeah, he ain't
wrong.
True. That is true.
Man, I gotta go watch Hillbilly Elegy again now.
Yeah.
Dude, what's her name? Glenn Close. She plays this. And Eddie, have you seen this movie? Okay, it's going to feel like going home for you. I promise.
Oh yeah.
Trust me. But Glenn Close plays the grandmother, who's like sort of the matriarch of this just really white trash family, and it is fantastic because Glenn Close, what she's able to do. By the way, did you know that she plays in the movie Hook, the Captain Hook movie? She plays the pirate that gets thrown into the boo box.
I didn't know
that.
100%. I found that out like a year ago. Google it right now, and I'll wait.
Really?
She plays a dude pirate in that movie Hook, just for no reason.
Like,
why?
she just show up on the set one day?
She is not counted in as one of the greatest actors of all time, and she 100% is, because she plays this white trash grandma smoking a cigarette all the time, married to a guy who never gets out of his recliner. It's fantastic. You have to watch it.
Okay. Hillbilly Elegy.
Hillbilly. I think it's on Netflix
And it's
right now.
based on J.D. Vance.
Yeah, it's J.D. Vance wrote a memoir called Hillbilly Elegy. It's about
Okay.
his time growing up in Appalachia, in Kentucky, I think. And obviously he goes from that to going to law school, and it just shows the dichotomy there, dealing with his mom, who's a drug addict, and all this kind of other stuff. Like I said, it's like watching people watch it. Like normal people will watch it, people not from around here, and they think that it's like, wow, this is so crazy. I'm like, this is literally family holidays for me. This is what they look like.
Yeah. I wonder what I'm going to be reminded of. Yeah, we'll see. 272-9228. Got to hit this break. But first, as part of the program, brought to you by River Region Contracting. And they're at River Region Contracting. Well, they can help you with that roof of yours, whether it's an asphalt or a metal roof. They can help you out. And you should have those inspected every few years.
Oh, no doubt.
3 to 5 years for basic preventative maintenance. But Eddie and I have been suggesting, hey, why not get an annual inspection done? Because the beautiful thing is when you're working with River Region Contracting, their inspections and estimates are always free, completely free. And they're a team of insurance specialists. So if you do find a problem with the roof that your insurance company might cover, they can walk you through that claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. So check out River Region Contracting today. That's 356-8635, 356-8635. And be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group and an update on the real estate market in the River Region. Sales of homes for the last 5 months will top 1,900 homes. Even though sales are slightly lower, the average sales price is still climbing. First-home homebuyers comprise over 34% of all sales, with no slowdown in sight for them. We now have more homes on the market in all price ranges, which gives buyers more choices than they've had in over 2 years. Some helpful suggestions for today's homebuyer would be: 1. Work with a local lender for your loan approval. 2. List 3 must-haves for your new home and seek to find properties to match your needs. 3. Work with an experienced and knowledgeable real estate agent to help you with your search, your showings, and receive advice on offers and negotiations. 4. Always use a licensed recommended home inspector when you find the home you choose. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River Region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Did you know that 1 in every 3 people are expected to be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime? 1 in 3. That is an astonishing statistic that impacts almost everyone. The Cancer Wellness Foundation of Alabama serves cancer patients in the River Region and gives help and hope to those who need assistance on the road to recovery. This is where we come in. Blue Water Broadcasting and Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods asks you to join in our Operation Help and Hope. We are collecting items to go in chemo-comfort care bags that are offered to all new cancer patients. Items we're collecting include new in-packaging fuzzy socks, Boost nutritional drinks, blankets, digital thermometers, hard candy, pill boxes, travel-size tissues, small hand sanitizers, lip balm, puzzle books, and pens. Bring your donation to Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods on Mulberry Street in Montgomery. Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods, serving all of your favorites for 32 years and counting. Donate what you can. Operation Help and Hope from Blue Water Broadcasting and Shashi's Bakery and Fine Foods.
To find out how you can help, go to newstalk931.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Well, hi, everybody. The radar has been quiet for the last 2 or 3 days. That will change over the weekend a little bit, but if you have evening plans tonight, we should be dry. Overnight low temperature falls to about 72. Then some very widely scattered, widely separated showers and storms will start to pop up over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, but they will be few and far between, and high temperatures will be in the upper 90s, not only over the weekend, but I think Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well, with triple-digit heat indices returning. A little July heat wave ahead. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At CB&S Bank, we've been meeting the needs of our customers since 1906. Need help setting up new business goals? Our line of commercial loans can help you achieve them. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Inappropriately, we were trying to continue the search. I think we might have found one, actually.
I think we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joey was real. I said that as an aside, by the way,
I know.
like a joke, and you're like, no,
I'm like, this is a fun premise. Like, I really think
took it on as a
problem. Are men that shallow that they can't compartmentalize their admiration?
Yes.
That's a good
Yes,
question.
we are.
That's, yeah, exactly. No, I think looks is a fascinating, and how you present yourself is a true part of politics and how you sell yourself as a politician. And as things will trend younger, inevitably, I think that's going to be more in play than ever before.
Yeah.
Especially, come on, I mean, Lauren Boebert wearing that, or AOC at that Met Gala wearing the dresses and stuff. Like, there is, all of it's going to have a certain appeal to it.
Yeah. But even with men, it's, people gave Fetterman a lot of crap for wearing the hoodies everywhere. Yeah. But I mean, it is kind of preposterous, the suit situation. There are ways to dress well without putting on a suit that include, like, it's hot, it's muggy, it always comes undone. The shoes mangle your feet to where you can barely walk in your old age, and you're wearing essentially a noose around your neck for someone just to grab at will. It just feels, I don't like wearing a tie because I feel vulnerable. Like, someone just has to grab this thing and twist it, and I'm done.
Yeah. I'm not, sometimes you got to wear a suit, but I wish the uniform was a little different out there. But let's go to Sparky. Hey, Sparky.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. You were talking about politics and politicians before.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood and politics. Anyway, I was thinking, the movie Goonies?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, John Fetterman was in that.
That's what Craig says.
Thank you, Eddie. At least someone's listening to me.
Hey, you guys.
When Fetterman's name came up, I went, "Hey, you guys."
He practiced 3 days to say Rocky Road. Well, I thought I'd just bring a little cheer to you guys live.
He really is a
Have good
cave
day.
troll.
Thank you, man. Thanks, Sparky.
It's like when you look at him, he's just he seems like a nice enough guy, but he's just such an oddly shaped person.
Yes. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
And like you were talking about the hoodies and things, it doesn't help it.
Yeah, he could
looks very
dress in a way.
Frankenstein-ish.
He could dress in a way that would make his
Oh, certainly.
frame look different. But it's like the hoodies and then the shorts. He looks like a guy trying to bum a cigarette off of you outside of a Citgo.
Yep. I agree with that 100%.
Now, there's one senator here, and I'm not even going to comment about her appearance.
Because you're above that, right?
No.
Were you here for the last
No,
break?
she just like, I find ideas sexy. And the sexiest idea out there is probably Bitcoin. There are many sexy ideas, but we could have that competition. What's the sexiest idea?
I don't think I could say that on the air.
What?
Fascism.
We got him to say it.
The SS were very well dressed. Let's not lie.
Gucci.
Oh, Hugo Boss.
Yeah, exactly. Hugo Boss. Case closed.
But no, Bitcoin, I've been fascinated with the idea. So when the first person who was really just like full-throated backing Bitcoin was, I believe, Cynthia Lummis of, was it Wyoming?
Mm-hmm.
And she was recently on with Larry Kudlow, proposing an idea that I just, I find hot.
No central bank digital currency. I'm so happy about that because that's a means of surveillance of the American people. But we want to make sure people can have individual wallets for their Bitcoin so they have that sovereign over their own money. We know we want the US dollar to remain strong. And actually having Bitcoin in reserve can help the US dollar remain strong.
This is what I've been saying. People thought I was joking around about like Alabama should use ARPA funds to buy Bitcoin, or the city of Montgomery, they're 86 million. Should he take 10 of it? Learn the process. The first process is, okay, how do you have custody of this stuff?
Right.
It'll put your city leaps and bounds ahead of most cities, with a few exceptions. Miami's doing pretty well. Austin's doing pretty well. But why not do that? Especially when you're like, oh, well, Bitcoin's down 20-something% over the month. Well, it's up still 80% over the year.
Yeah.
And so if you think of it in terms of, 5-10 year increments, and you can also, again, I'm not a finance guy, but you could set rules like a reserve thing. Like you're only, if it gains in 1 year, you're only allowed to take so much out of that reserve.
That's what I hope you do.
But I think that would be a smart move for governments or individuals to actually start to back our economy with something that's hard, and a true hard money. And I think Bitcoin's the way. And I will always love Senator Lummis for that push. She's the one who's apparently, like, I've been told by good sources, she's like passing out books like of the Bitcoin Standard in particular by Safedina Moose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she's really pushing it up there.
Good for her. Yeah, I'm looking at the graph. I haven't paid attention to Bitcoin in a few weeks, and yeah, it is down. But if you look at the year graph, it's impressive.
Yeah. Well, and then you look at the 10-year graph.
Oh yeah,
Definitely still to the plus.
Yeah, and there are a lot of folks say, "Oh no, it could go back to it could go to $1 million. It could go back to $500."
Yeah, it's not going back. It's not going to.
I don't think it's going back to $500. I just don't think that is in the cards.
But at least it's market dictated
Right.
inflation and deflation as opposed to manufactured by a private bank.
Right. And maybe it's an idea that you're going to have some people, again, age out of this, in particular the Congress.
I believe you're right, Joe.
But what I'm worried about the most is I think it's a deciding issue for me in the campaign. Trump has now said, maybe he's lying, but Trump has now said he's pro-crypto. He's all for that stuff. He's said it without conditions. We need more of this technology in the United States. It should be a USA thing. While at the same time, Biden and his administration is literally trying to, I think, destroy crypto.
I believe you're right.
On behalf of the incumbent banks. It looks like the SEC is going to get away with something with Biden, saying that big banks can't have custody. What Senator Lummis was just calling for, they unilaterally, in a very sneaky way, normally when the SEC puts out an administrative rule, it has to go through Congress and other checks. They did it as a memo that's still enforceable. So it's just decree. by the Securities and Exchange Commission,
Does this go back?
saying that big banks cannot hold any crypto assets whatsoever.
Now, this have any effect? And I don't know, but with Chevron doctrine, when you've got bureaucrats.
Oh, this will be tested.
Oh yeah.
And I see so many. I can't wait till these things start getting tested because you have bureaucrats, unelected, that are making decisions that affect you and me that they were never supposed to have that power. So I can't wait. EPA, a lot of them, buddy. They're on my list. I cannot wait.
Well, and
There's
also
gonna be some serious backpedaling.
Oh yeah. But also, it's not even just the Bitcoin itself, but what blockchain technology, and I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, what it can offer as far as secure transactions in a very technological world and secure records keeping, this kind of stuff, where they're now doing it to where they can transfer deeds and transfer contracts through the blockchain, and it's a infinitely more secure system and more verifiable. So the fraud goes out the window. Someone can't just squat at your place and show a piece of paper that they printed up at wherever people print things. Yeah. So it's like it's the anti-Bitcoin people in the establishment are really holding back a lot of advancement that could take place through just the blockchain
And
itself.
people always go, what's the underlying utility value of Bitcoin? Like we know the price in dollars. What's the underlying utility? And you're like, how about a global ledger that nobody owns? And it's like the internet,
right?
A global ledger that is incorruptible. There was some question, could it be corrupted if you took a certain amount of the hashing power on the network early on? We're nowhere near that now.
No.
So it is a global ledger that is incorruptible, and it's not only a way to send, say, the Bitcoins on the network. It will now become, hey, maybe you want to notarize something as a contract, or maybe you want to put a message, like a will, for your family that you don't want anybody to change or touch. It's incredibly valuable. The idea of something like the internet, but for the internet has always had the problem where you can create things infinitely.
Yeah.
So we can create a almost approaching infinity number of photos of us sitting here in our Ferguson shirts. But now with this new technology, you've created the idea of scarcity in the digital world. And that scarcity is going to be incredibly valuable to anchor systems in the internet, whether it's taking on the form of money or it's other ways of notarizing, keeping records, and just securing information.
What if voting? I haven't even thought about
would
this.
be
I
one way to do it.
Another one. I would
Yeah,
think,
I mean that would seem like any idea of voter fraud could sort of be next.
Keep this in mind. Democrats this week were calling a vote to have a citizenship standard, like, hey, you got to prove citizenship to register to vote. They called that a poll tax.
Sure did. What's that tell you? And by the way, who's bringing in all these illegals? What party's bringing those in?
What do you mean? The border's incredibly secure, and the Republicans wouldn't go the bipartisan deal that Trump, told them to kill. And
the border's so secure, we're flying them in now.
And it's so crazy whenever you hear people be like, "Oh, he's talking about the Great Replacement theory." It's like, okay, well, stop doing things that make it really seem like that's what you're up to.
Right. Yes.
Like, just so what is the logical explanation for that? Seriously, for busing and flying butt tons of illegals into our country.
Love.
And yeah,
I mean, that's the kind of answer you're going to get.
When you drop a 747 on the border of North Korea and start loading them up, then I'll believe that you care about taking care of people. Until then, you have an agenda.
Well, another thing that really sickens me is you hear about all the crime that illegals are doing, especially murders. I mean, it's all over the U.S. But whenever a Democrat is asked about it, they're quickly they'll give you 10 other reasons that has nothing to do with him being illegal. It's not our fault that we let this person in. We take no responsibility for it. It sickens me.
People don't have that mentality with their house, with their property, with their business, with anything else. It's like, and funnily enough, these people that do these, that pass these laws or make the statements about it, it's like that you're required to show some sort of identification, a lot of times just to be in their presence.
That's very true, correct.
Like you have to prove who you are to drive down the road. You have to prove who you are to buy a car. You have to prove who you are to do this, to open a bank account.
Open a bank account. Yeah.
No, and it's just absurd. It's just a good idea to have standards, and if you could secure voting with an incorruptible system like the blockchain,
yeah,
that would be a good way to the problem is people don't understand what it is.
Well,
so I get the hurdle there.
Right, but I also think they like the corruption being built in.
Oh, yeah,
One of
yeah,
the
the
things you said
players
was-
running this thing,
Yeah,
sure.
it was incorruptible. Well, that's not good for me. That's going to hurt my business.
That's true.
Well, not a whole lot of people knew what the internet was when I was a kid, and now people
Right.
can't imagine their life without it.
Oh,
So I mean, it might be a slow burn, but I think it'll be quicker than an advancement like the internet itself. Especially if you don't have to explain the mechanism. If you know thoroughly, people can just know how to use it.
that it works.
Yeah.
Well, and now Trump is calling for the so-called SAVE Act to be attached to the next spending bill. And this is the bill that does the confirmation. You have to confirm you're a citizen to be registered as a
I
voter.
don't see the problem with that. I don't see the why we get pushback on that unless you have, something that you're trying to get over on citizens.
Right.
Well, I think voting is crap. I think democracy is crap. But if we're going to do this, if we're going to do this system, then I don't. If there are going to be people in this world that can determine how much of my stuff I get to keep, I want to at least ensure that they have a vested interest in the continued success of our community, our state, and our nation. And you don't have that because there's no commitment. There's no.
Right.
It's kind of like. Oh, never mind. I'm leaving that alone.
Wait, if you didn't have democracy and voting, what would you have? Like freedom and property and responsibility?
Yes, pretty much. It sounds horrible.
Almost
doesn't
like
it?
individual rights, and then we figure out our disputes in court.
Dude, speaking of that town hall that we visited, like that, any sort of public venue like that always reminds me of why I'm opposed fundamentally to democracy, because I'm like, these people get to vote and their vote counts as much as mine, but I am measurably smarter than all of them.
What's funny though is folks also are like right on the cusp of seeing through it. Like it's people power, right? Then we heard many folks complain that, well, they're sifting through the questions, they're curating the questions, selecting which ones the mayor's going to be asked. I'm like, yes, there's always going to be a person who's a moderator, who's a timekeeper, who is sorting the questions. There will always be, even at a local town hall, an elite that have to run the meeting. And so folks are like, but I thought this was all people power. It's like, no, you actually have to run things. So it's a little dishonest on its face, honestly. So, hey, we got to hit a break. But first, as part of the program, brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, man, good eating. Real good eating.
Yes, it is. Doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, buddy.
A true institution here in the River Region. They're on Main Street in Millbrook. Been around since 1989. And I know they've gone through a few phases, but they're back.
They're back, baby.
They are back with strength. They are back with the delicious food they offer there at Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. Now, you might be saying, I should go there tonight. I think it's a good idea.
Good idea.
I think you should stop by there right now if you're hungry. Get a great quick meal. Or if you go a little later, enjoy the entertainment, enjoy the open bar. Or it could be, you got things to do tonight. Why not go tomorrow morning?
Great.
Bright and early for that
Saturday morning.
breakfast, which I think is like the crown jewel there. I'm going to keep eating the barbecue at night. I love some barbecue, but nothing has beaten those cheese grits yet.
Nothing at all, buddy.
They're freaking amazing. Customized biscuits and breakfast sandwiches. You could even get the Fat Boy breakfast.
That's the one I think you and I should try. We should,
like
we should
split
have
it?
that. I don't even know. I think we should have individual ones
And see
how
if we
far
can finish
make
it.
it through it. Yeah.
That'll be our cheat day.
Okay.
All right. I challenge you to a duel.
For the record,
all right.
Every day's my cheat day.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, what are we eating here for a cheat day?
The
Fat Boy breakfast at Smokehouse Barbecue, and it's like a huge pancake and all sample of all their different breakfast meats, which is like 3 or 4, I think.
Yeah, you eat sausage.
I'll eat 2. How about that?
Okay, you'll eat 2.
I'll do 2.
All right.
Well, I saw both of you just take your shirts off to put on those shirts, so I'm like,
I
well,
got
it's
some room.
now making sense.
Yeah, I got room for it. I don't know if Craig does. He looks pretty tight. But
The point is, y'all got to get by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. Incredible food, whether you're enjoying it for lunch, dinner in the evening, or that incredible breakfast there in the morning. So check them out today and be sure to tell them that, hey, Joey and Eddie and Craig, those fellas on the radio sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon.
and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Final moments of the program here. It's been an odd show, not a bad one.
It's been pretty funny.
Let's go to Ray Bowles, Brownville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Man, it is smoking hot out here today, guys. Y'all might want to stay an extra hour.
Where have you been all day?
Well, I suckered Chad. I said, hey, I got this job I'll let you have if you go with me to measure it. What he didn't know is after that, we had to go get a rug and bring it back to the store.
Mm.
Yeah, so what he don't know is I'm going home early. So the moral of the story is, look, don't forget we can do rugs. Like this particular customer we found a rug for, a huge rug. They're selling a home, moving to Florida. The rug will not work for them. It's too big.
Uh-huh.
So she calls and says, is there any way to get this thing cut in half and rebound? Absolutely.
That's cool.
We'll be over there in a couple hours as soon as Chad's ready. And then we ran and grabbed the rug. Within a week, she'll have it back, and hopefully before they move, because I'd hate to have to take it to them in Florida, wouldn't you, Chad?
I'll take the plunge and then deliver to the beach. That's no problem.
Yeah. So if it's to the beach, we might just bring it back to you. Yeah. But if y'all need a rug or any floors at all, call us, 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a floor down just that quick.
Getting the number, 285-8117, and be sure to tell them you heard Ray here on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
And Chad.
And Chad. He gives the best discounts, by the way.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all.
Thank you, Ray.
Pretty much out of time here. Somebody just sent me a piece saying if Kamala ends up being the candidate for the Democrats, then Trump has to pick Tulsi Gabbard. I just don't see it happening.
I don't see that either. No.
I praised her, and she's not that good looking.
She's better looking than AOC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, she's very good looking,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
You thought you had it for
Yeah,
the
but
whole lightning
Yeah,
bolt
with the
through her hair.
sorceress thing.
I think the
Yeah.
media have done too good of a job slamming Tulsi
Yeah.
over the past couple of years for that to be a feasible option.
She's an impressive person. It's a shame.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think there are people that rise up. Now, she's also been caught on being both sides of the issue.
Oh, sure.
Like a lot of these folks who have shifted in the last few years. But, yeah. Anyway, we're out of time.
Yeah.
Good
Bye,
to see
y'all.
you, gentlemen.
It's good to see you guys.
Greg Udell's next.
Get a picture before we go.
Okay.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM.